Your home for the Jayhawks, Lions, and Firebirds is FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it.
This is a test here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN for the upcoming Lawrence High football homecoming game of
live from the Hank booth.
Exactly, live from the Hank booth. We'll be back momentarily here on KLWN.
Kurt Gieser State Farm Agency understands the importance of being a member in the Lawrence community and supporting local. They also understand the importance of supporting you in Lawrence, whether it's through the peace of mind you get with insurance or helping you with any financial questions or needs. Just like this high school broadcast, Kurt Gieser.
Your home for the Jayhawks, Lions, and Firebirds is FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN.
Parents, are you ready to take on the changing seasons with confidence? Look no further than Panda Pediatrics. As temperatures fall, kids spend more time indoors with friends, and right now it's essential to protect your little ones from the flu and COVID-19.
And a very pleasant good evening here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Your home for many years of Lawrence High School football, Chesty Lions football. And from the Hank booth, we find ourselves at yet another commemorative evening, the 2023 homecoming night here from Lawrence High School, as it will be Shawnee Mission North is the opponent as they have traveled their way over here to the Lawrence High football field in Lawrence, Kansas, right off of course, this beautiful campus just south of the KU campus as well. Alongside my broadcast partner, Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck in a very humbled chair and a very humbled place. The Hank booth, indeed, and we find ourselves in one of the first games, but more importantly, the first homecoming without Mr. Hank Booth, as we find ourselves at the home field of LHS Chesty Lions for a very exciting game tonight, and one that the Chesty Lions are hoping to bounce back off of a week that certainly there was a lot to improve upon. However, lots of encouragement and motivation heading into this week as well. So, thank you for joining us here on 1320 and 1017 KLWN. I did want to shout out to our title sponsor for this tonight's game, which is 23rd Street Brewery, open daily. From the Bill Self Mac and Cheese or the Haney Turkey Stack or the Hank Booth Burger, there are so many different options that you can have to definitely enjoy there. And to be honest, let me give a shout out to the Naked Nachos as well. That might be one of the greatest creations that I have ever had. It just culinarily wise, or just again, when you're just trying to come up with a good munchie or something like that, I'll tell you what, one of my favorite dishes that I've ever had. But thanks again to 23rd Street Brewery, and with that, a perfect segue into this. My broadcast partner from 23rd Street Brewery, and of course, an LHS advocate, somebody that you've heard for so many years, and also an alum. It's the man, Matt Llewellyn. Thanks so much, of course, for joining us. I know you wouldn't miss this game for the world, and it means a lot, as we've got a great committee, and we're going to go over that homecoming committee here in just a little bit, as well as throughout this game and during halftime as well. But there's a big game on hand, and tonight, right now, the Chesty Lions looking to bounce back.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I would be here if I was on the radio or not. I love Lawrence High football. It has been part of my DNA ever since I was a very young boy. Growing up, born and raised 2 blocks up. 17th and Mississippi was where I lived, which is just 2 blocks up from the high school.
Well, you got to love that. And, of course, Matt Llewellyn here on these week-by-week basis. But LHS tonight coming in off of a loss, and you could probably speak a little bit more to this now. A pretty poor, an unfortunate injury this early in the season as well. Talk a little bit more about that and maybe what, LHS, of course, had to deal with last week and is going to have to deal with now on a regular basis, losing Tyson Grammer, and maybe your suggestions on how you can go about replacing a two-way player.
Well, Tyson is absolutely a huge, huge loss for this team. Not only was he just a great player defensively and offensively, but he was a great individual. He's a senior, a leader. He's been a part of this team for 4 years, and just it's a huge loss. I mean, anytime you lose a player, it's big. But someone like Tyson, who was just an absolute beast on the field, and this year, man, he had already gotten Player of the Game once. But, man, he was someone who I was talking about a lot. Again, offensively and defensively. He was just an absolute stud, not to mention the fact that he is our most sure-handed backup quarterback. And it's going to be a big loss for this team. But he's out there on the field, will be around the guys, certainly not gone, but he is out for the season to play football. I think the hope is – he's obviously a multi-sport guy. The hope is that he will be able to get back here in time for baseball season. That's kind of what Brad Stoll's hoping anyway. Brad Stoll, the Lawrence High baseball coach.
And you got to love this. I love, just these nights, homecoming nights, of course, here for 2023, Lawrence High School Chesty Lions. And not only a commemorative night for the football team, for the school in general, for a lot of these seniors and the upperclassmen and really everyone involved in Chesty Lions spirit. There is so much going on here this evening, and if we could spell it out, here's how it goes. As, of course, we find a beautiful sunset in downtown Lawrence here on this final Friday of September. We find ourselves September 29th on a very warm evening as well, which is a little bit of a concern to mine just in due fact of the maybe potential of cramps or, kind of heat-induced injuries as well. So keep that in mind as we go forward, but hopefully you got to love this little breeze that we're getting from the west right now that is cooling things down here this evening as the sun continues to go over the horizon and that the LHS Chesty Lions find their way out there. 88 degrees is where we find ourselves here, about 5 minutes shy of 7 o'clock. That is when expected kickoff time is, but of course being homecoming, I would imagine with all of the great festivities taking place, we might be a little bit late tonight, and there it is as you hear the crowd and the music. Your 2023 Chesty Lions take the field. They're going to be in their all-black uniforms, all-black jerseys, I should say, and then they've got the white bottoms with the black triple stripe and the red accents as well down in the number and the stripe, and then, of course, the all-famous black with the white stripe down the middle helmet for the Chesty Lions. Gotta love the black, the white, and then that red accent in between there with the numbers. I think that's a slick look to the jersey.
Yeah, absolutely, and so many people have wondered why we stick with this very simple, basic helmet, very much like why Penn State has stuck with the what they've had.
White and blue, yeah, exactly.
White and blue, their whole existence. Nebraska with the simple N and the red stripe down the middle. You know what? It's tradition. There was a time when for about 2 or 3 years we changed it with some kind of a Power Lion logo on our helmet. It didn't work. It wasn't Lawrence High, and so we've gone to this. Gone back to our old standby, and that's what tradition is, and it's a great look. It's what is Lawrence High. As the captains walk out on the field, Xander Thomas, who of course I've talked about all season long, has been just an absolute stud out there. Kem Allen, Will Hendricks, and Connor Nowak, senior leaders, guys who really, like I've said before, they're linemen. Xander obviously is not. Xander the Scamper is just a crazy guy on the football field, and then your 3 tough linemen, as our captains and our senior leaders out there right now.
Absolutely. Good time to remind you that our pregame show has been brought to you by the Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry. Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry is kind, caring, and understanding when you need it most. Come to the compassionate, caring dental team here in Lawrence. Now looking on the opposing side of the sideline, we have a team in all white. Now they've got the slick white and red uniforms and the white and red helmets as well with the bison on top, as of course they come from Shawnee Mission North. So the Shawnee Mission North Bison with that all white uniform. But Matt, do you have a note for us?
And it's really cool out there. The guys that are following the captains as part of the 88 state title team. 4 guys who walked out with the rest of the captains, and I will get their names for you when I can. But
I was wondering that just a moment ago. Again, if you've ever been to a high school or any football game, you'll notice that the captains kind of set up on either side of the 50-yard line. However, there were 4 other individuals that also joined this coin flip, if you will, or again the decision of who defers or who takes the possession here in this first half and second half. But we'll get some names and we'll have that information again. It's going to be a very eventful night. Homecoming 2023 here for LHS. Once again, just wanted to note that our pregame show has been brought to you by the Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry. Also, tonight's ballgame is brought to you by the 23rd Street Brewery. Well, we are just about ready for kickoff time as they are finishing up some final touches out there, as well as getting the finishing information, taking all the pictures for homecoming night. And I'll finish up again just on that opposing side. As I had mentioned, they're all white with the red accent and the black kind of stripes down the sleeve as well. However, I would suggest this kind of looks like a Louisville look without the red helmet. So
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Louisville road uniform without the red helmet. And, of course, they've got the bison on the side of their helmet there. However, it will be LHS kicking off here in the first half. They will be looking from south to north, and here from the broadcast booth up on the Hank booth, I should say. It will be looking from left to right as we are just about underway for homecoming here from LHS. Right on 7 o'clock, and I'll tell you what, I am one for being on time and being with schedule, certainly just like that. And it looks like, Matt, within that coin flip, before we get to this, within all that information, we are just about ready for kickoff of the 2023 homecoming game. There it is, big boot. It's got a little bit of hang time, but it's going to be fielded still within the touchback zone, so about 2 yards out. He's going to make a nice move, get to the edge, 20, 25, and I think it's going to be pushed out right at the 26-yard line. So that is where the Shawnee Mission North Bison will start. I believe actually the 19 is where they are at. So I am a little bit disoriented on my field position there. But Matt, I'll tell you what, in terms of a good kick and good special teams field position, that's a good way to push a team and put them on the oppressed defensive very early on, is putting them inside their own 20.
And I believe that was Jackson Becker who kicked off. Andre Lafort had been doing it, the kickoffs and all the extra point tries, but I believe that was Jackson Becker on that kickoff.
So we're going to have a bunch set here, 4 wide actually, in a shotgun formation. Takes the snap now, and he's going to hand it off to a wide receiver in a sweeping motion, and he's going to get an easy 5, maybe even to the first down. And as he dives his way up, it looks like they are going to say it's going to be a second down, but a good gain there on first down on the ground, as again using that motion formation to start things off on the ground here.
And knocked out of bounds by Xander Thomas.
So they're going to go with a very similar setup, bunch formation, shotgun, as well as a man in the backfield with him. 2 to his right, 2 to his right, 2 to his left. High snap, however, he's going to make the option pass, and the quarterback's going to hang on to it himself. I think with the forward progression, he's going to get the first down. But a nice run there and a good keep by the quarterback gets them, again, 2 plays and a first down already picked up from Shawnee Mission North.
And it. Don't quote me on this, but I think that was a little shuffle pass. I think that was tipped back behind him, and he kicked it right back to the quarterback because this entire line thought it was the running back who had the ball, but it was a quarterback who made that play.
Alex Casares is that quarterback. He's going to throw it for the first time. 5-yard pickup. Now a nice little pickup after the catch as well, and in fact a huge pickup. Picks up 10, maybe 15 yards after the first down. A 5-yard slant play to the slot receiver. And just like that, Shawnee Mission North picks up 2 quick first downs.
And Kim Allen now coming into the game for Connor Nowak.
And Casares, a sophomore at 5'11", 160 pounds, carries himself fairly well out there. Sits behind 5 linemen. He's got 4 wide, 3 to his left, and 1 in the backfield with him. And a little play-action pass. It's going to be met, and a great job defensively to infiltrate the backfield and tackle for loss.
Ben Marker just made an absolute great read on that play. He saw that coming, and as soon as that receiver picked up the ball in the backfield, Ben was there to stop him all the way. That's a 4-yard loss.
He was double-teamed.
Good job, Ben Marker.
He was double-teamed, and he found a way to penetrate into the backfield and, more importantly, make the open field tackle. 4 wide once again here for North. They're going to have 3 to his right. Casares will make some changes, and, in fact, he'll move his tailback to the left of him. Now a man in motion. They might go with a sweep, and they will once again. Wide receiver comes in, takes the run, and he's going to get up to near the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
And something you don't see all the time is a linebacker catching up to the running back, but that's exactly what happened on that play. As they were making the sweep, the linebacker, Devin Foster, came through and caught up to him as he was just crossing the original line of scrimmage. Credit Devin Foster on that piggyback tackle.
Of the 5, now 6 plays, they've had 4 wide and a shotgun formation here for Shawnee Mission North. Maybe that is a continuing theme for the rest of the night. We'll keep an eye on it. But from the shotgun formation, Casares to take the snap. He's in trouble. Now he gets out of it. 5 yards picked up. There's the first down. Casares still scrambling, spins out of 1 tackle, and boy, that is unfortunate for the defense of LHS. They did a great job downfield with their secondary, but left some holes, and Casares found an opening.
Well, and they made some penetration. Connor Nowak was through behind the line of scrimmage, ready to get on that, make that sack, but was not to be. Huge pickup there for North.
And here we are once again in a first down scenario for the Shawnee Mission North varsity football team. This is their 3rd first down picked up, and Casares is going to go with a QB option there. That one is a play action. He's going to hang on to it with the option, and a 4-yard pickup, 2nd down and 6 coming. And Casares is certainly going to have to be noteworthy for this LHS defense. I know this is the first drive of the game. You're kind of trying to get an understanding of the opponent that you're dealing with, but I'll tell you what, that quarterback right now, number 4, is going to be a nuisance tonight for LHS as they continue to drive down the field. 2nd down and 6. Once again, there is 3 wide this time. Slot the receiver to his right, and he's going to go to him, and just a quick curl pattern gets them the first down picked up. And I'll tell you what, Casares, as much as the run game is threatening, he's also very accurate with his throwing tonight so far.
He's about equal on passing and throwing, and everything has worked right now for the Bison. Only 1 play for negative yards at this point.
So another first down picked up. That's their 4th inside red zone territory. I believe they'll give them the 19-yard line.
And on every game so far this season, the Lions have not led early on. They've been a quick to get started group, has this Lawrence High School Lion football team.
Shotgun with 3 wide. They'll give it to the running back, and LHS is immediately in the backfield. However, somehow he just piles his way towards the pylon. He gets past the first line of defense, 15-10 inside, and that is Judah Jones nearly into the end zone. And boy,
Josh Galbraith got through the line of scrimmage and was almost had that tackle, but Josh could not hold on as he, as a very, very speedy sophomore, got through. Junis Jones got through Josh Galbraith.
And I'll tell you what, quite the burst of acceleration, I will say, there by Judah. Judah Jones, once again, 5'8", senior running back.
First down and goal from the 3.
And
no score.
North trying to get on the board first. They're going to give it right back to Jones, and he is met right up the middle. A helmet comes off of an offensive lineman. I do believe he might have to exit the field, or I'm not sure if that applies. Yes, it does. So he will have to exit the field. But great job interior-wise. LHS doing a good job of those middle runs so far in this first half.
Yeah, Kim Allen slowed him down, and then Connor Nowak came in from the backfield and just absolutely destroyed that running back for no gain.
Speaking of this first half, we are at 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go. So this has been a team, again, who's been efficient through the air and on the ground and has taken a good chunk of time off this clock so far, nearly a 5-minute drive as they are threatening to score here on this first drive. Man in motion, and once again, and they're going to hand it off to his tailback. I don't think they got it, actually. I think LHS was able to come up with a stop.
Yeah, they're calling him short. They're calling him like on the 1-inch line.
And once again, Shawnee Mission North has been met by a great defensive wall, really a brick wall when they try and run up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Lawrence High does best. If the short run defense for Lawrence High is really, really good. Anytime you spread them out, which it looks like they're a little bit spread out right now, let's see what happens.
They're going to put 6 on the line, though. Shotgun formation. Do they hand it off? And it looks like a flag before the play. Might be a false start maybe an offsides. We'll take a peek here as to exactly what it is. But the sideline judge threw the flag there on 3rd down and short. And it's actually going to be offsides on the defense. Or, excuse me.
Yeah, that's on the defense. It's on Lawrence High.
So Lawrence High, unfortunately, giving up that down.
So really not much of a yardage difference.
I was going to say,
you can't move
giving up about 6 inches is what they did. And a very similar 6 on the line, and they're going to go. And he's stuffed behind the line, but somehow
Connor Nowak again. Oh, they gave him the TD.
No, they did. So what happened is, again, he was stuffed behind the line. However, the quarterback somehow spun away in an option play and came away with a touchdown. I have not seen too many more deceiving plays than that in my life.
Well, that will be one we want to look at on the replay.
Would love to see that.
I totally missed the fake. Connor Nowak got back there and stopped that running back cold, but the running back didn't have the ball.
Well, and it was a QB option play, again, as I had mentioned, and somehow, I'll tell you what, you got to give him some credit so far. Casares has been a menace to this LHS defense, and he's proved it there with now a long fielded 6-point, now 7-point with the PAT, 7-0 with 6:53 to go here in the homecoming game. But an opening offensive drive for Shawnee Mission North, the Bison, with a touchdown coming away there. Got to love, again, the resilience there, but what a fake and what a play call. We're going to take a quick step aside. When we come back, we'll have the first drive for LHS Chesty Lions football here coming up on KLWN.
Truity Credit Union is a proud supporter of the Free State Firebirds and all Lawrence Public Schools. We've donated over $61,000 to support our Lawrence schools and teachers. Get your Firebird Spirit debit card today. Each purchase you make with the card raises money for our schools. You swipe, we give. Visit a branch today or online at truitycu.org/spirit card to learn more. Firebirds fight with Truity. Truity Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Your home for the Jayhawks, Lions, and Firebirds is FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it.
And welcome back, FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on its coverage of Lawrence High School football here on a beautiful September Friday night. And coming off of their first offensive drive, the opponent, Shawnee Mission North, able to go down and really implement their will on offense, get 7 points, and take a big chunk off of this first quarter time. 6:49 in the first quarter, 7-0 Bison. And this will be the first time that we see the LHS Chesty Lions offense back out there on the field. As again, next to me is my broadcast partner, Matt Llewellyn. I'm Sam Speck for your coverage of homecoming football here on 1017 and 1320 KLWN. So it's going to be, of course, Banks Bowen there in the backfield. He's going to have 3 now, 4 wide, and immediately going to throw it to his man in motion, and that's the man behind him trying to get a number on him. I believe that was Malcolm Paul. And they might be using number 5 from that tailback position quite a bit tonight. Of course, Tyson Grammer out with the injury from last week, but that was a good first move here on this first drive.
Absolutely. It was awesome. And nice little 17, 18-yard pickup for Malcolm Paul.
And Banks Bowen, again, showing his accuracy. They're going to go back to Paul again. A nice 3-4-yard pickup. He just goes straight up the gut right there, and a nice hard run. However, Paul kind of shaken up. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, they're calling timeout on the field. Paul, my guess is it looks that he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him, but
yeah,
they're checking him out right now. By the way he was looking at he wasn't grabbing an ankle or anything like that.
An extremity or anything like that. So we will keep you up to date with that. Again, that's Malcolm Paul, the 6'2" senior who, coming off of that first play, what a response out of the first drive. So again, defensively, LHS kind of stumbling a little bit in response to a great job by Shawnee Mission North, kind of balancing both the run and the pass. I think they did a good job balancing that, and certainly some modifications having to be made. There's a lot of football to be played right now, but it looks like he's going to get up on his own power. Once again, that's Malcolm Paul who is down on the floor. And he's going to get up on his own power. He throw the helmet back on. And you know what, Matt? You might be right. And again, it's been very warm today. Currently, right now, it is 88 degrees. And certainly it's going to only get cooler from here on out. But as of right now, out there on that turf with all those pads, I'll tell you what.
They told Malcolm that he couldn't play because he was on the ground. They called the timeout because he was not happy that he couldn't get back out there. But that's the rule, Malcolm. He's learned that. And in there is Taj Edward, the very, very speedy sophomore.
Well, after the 4-yard run, it brings up 2nd and 6. Bowen looks to the right, and he's going to get a nice little screen pass to his right receiver, and a nice 4-5, maybe the first down picked up. I think they're going to keep him just a bit shy. But
no, they'll move it.
No, they do. So they give him the 6 yards just right on, and that will get them up to now the Shawnee Mission North 38-yard line. Here from this near hash line, 4 wide, 3 to his left, 1 to the right. Shotgun formation for Bowen. And he's going to hand it off his route back. Edwards now looks left, and he is swallowed up. However, he does a good job kind of darting forward. 3-4 yards on the ground every time. That's going to do you pretty well.
And the Shawnee Mission North coach is not happy about something. Came out on the field yelling at the referee.
And they're only going to give him 3 yards there on the run, so he gets down to the north 35-yard line. Now to the far hash. Similar setup, however, they'll put the trips to the right this side. Bowen in the backfield once again with Edwards, and 1 receiver to his left. This time, play-action pass, and he steps up in the pocket. Got his man over the middle. That's Malcolm Paul for another great catch. 2nd reception, and boy, one time, I think you're right, probably had the wind knocked out of him. He got right back out there, and he made another reception. LHS first down.
Absolutely beautiful catch by Malcolm Paul there. 20-yard pickup on the reception from Bowen, and that was an absolute strike to Malcolm Paul, who was wide open about 15 yards down the field, then picked up an extra 5.
4 wide again, 2 to each side in the pistol formation here for Banks Bowen. He's going to take the snap now with, once again, Edwards behind him. He's going to give it to his man. Edwards up the middle, diving forward. Did he give it to him?
Oh, my.
Wow, they won't.
And that is too bad because Taj is a little kid. Okay, Taj is small. He's listed at 5'9", 160, and I think all of that is generous. And he probably could have ran a little bit to his left, but he didn't. He chose to barrel right into the down line with the safety and just tried to get through, but it wasn't quite enough from the 1-yard line. There goes Paul,
and I think he's going to fight his way forward. Did he get it? Boy, great job defensively. They stacked the line. They put 8 on the line there for LHS. And I don't think they're going to get, so now they're going to hurry up, and quickly they're going to put, again, that's Edwards right behind, Malcolm Paul right behind, and Banks Bowen right next to him. Bowen's going to take it himself, little QB option, and he's actually just going to take it himself in. Banks Bowen, touchdown, and they put them within a point now of tying it up. Both teams coming out firing on their first drives of the game. Not only that, but noteworthy, LHS doing it in a much more efficient time frame. We saw nearly 6 minutes taken off the clock from Shawnee Mission North. That didn't take them more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get down the field and nearly tie this game. Now we'll see the special teams unit come across. Low-lying kick. However, it's wide as well. So that is something we need to keep an eye on for the remainder of the game.
We have not seen that yet. This is the first point after attempt missed by Andre Lafort. It was Andre kicking the extra point this time, and wide left. So LHS does not tie it up. That leaves the score at 7-6. Lions trailing by a point.
And 4:18 is our time on the clock there. Good time to remind you as well that our game tonight is brought to you by 23rd Street Brewery. Open daily from 11:30 to 10:30, or I believe. What are your hours now? What is it, Matt?
Yeah, we're
is that what it is?
11 to 11.
11 to 11, that's right.
But we can always, and the kitchen stays open till 10, but on a night like tonight when we're going to have sports late tonight, sometimes we'll keep the whole kitchen open for a while, but a lot of times also maybe we'll just do the pizza oven open.
Well, speaking of that, you can come to the 23rd Street Brewery, and all through the night we've got football, baseball, basketball, obviously not basketball right now, but baseball, all of the nearly playoff from high school, KU, and then, of course, we got the NFL through the weekend. Join us at 23rd Street Brewery. All right. So a nice statement drive from both offenses here as we start this first quarter. 4:18 remaining in this first quarter. Again, as I mentioned, nearly took 5.5 minutes for North to get down the field and under 2.5 minutes for LHS to do the same thing. Unfortunately, LHS unable to get the PAT and tie this game at 7. This is kind of a short but high kick with a lot of hang time there. Fielded at the 15, and he's wrapped up at the 21-yard line. Great job from the special teams unit. Short kick.
And he can do it all. Jackson Becker did kick the ball, and Jackson Becker came down and made the tackle. But Jackson, a big, tough sophomore, and you're going to be hearing a lot out of Jackson Becker for these next 3 years for the Lions.
You know what it looked like? It looked like he was unhappy with the distance, so he took the amount of hang time
he
that
made
he
up
had.
for it on the tackle.
He got the hang time, and he went down there and made the tackle, and it's going to be there near that far hash. Again, Shawnee Mission North will be traveling from north to south or from right to left here from the broadcast booth. Alongside Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck. Thank you for joining us for LHS Chesty Lion football here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Big hole up the middle, breaks away, past the 50. Here comes Shawnee Mission North, going away. Judah Jones, but he's tackled at the last minute. And what a tackle late in the field. Boy, that avoided, again, 6 easy points.
And it was Josh Galbraith. Josh Galbraith was 5 yards behind him when he started that run, but Josh able to use all of his speed and get down there. And I think Junis was he was caught off guard. He thought he had a touchdown all the way, but Josh able to jump on his back and bring him down at the 12-yard line. So touchdown saving tackle by Josh Galbraith, another sophomore. The sophomore is stepping up right now.
And if they can come away with only giving up 3 or no points here, as the handoff is actually a QB option, but he's met the backfield trying to dive his way forward, but I think he only gets up to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
maybe a tackle for loss, actually.
That's going to be a TFL and for about a yard. But nice job there by Devin Foster, again a sophomore. That was the kind of the theme of the game, the first game of the year. And let's see how this works out this game. As we see our senior leader, Tyson Grammer, who's out for the year. Has got his ankle wrapped up, and he's on in one of those one-legged carts, holding his cart up on the sideline, rooting the Lions on.
Shotgun formation. As Casares in the backfield, shotgun with 3 wide, 2 to his right. Casares immediately pressured. Now he has to escape, and he's swallowed up, but inside the 10-yard line, I believe to the 9. Doesn't pick up the first down, but I'll tell you what, LHS, they didn't give up much internal penetration, and now that they have, it seems like they're angry right now. I'll tell you what, they're coming after them.
Absolutely, and it looked a lot worse than it was. Only a 2-yard pickup there. Or I guess a 3-yard pickup as they had lost yard, but it's bringing up 3rd down and 8.
This is going to be big for LHS. What do they do here? And again, giving up that huge run on first down immediately after giving the ball back. 2:30 to go in the first quarter. Big 3rd down and a
flag on the field.
That's a bummer, and that is going to give most likely 5 automatic yards. As they did a hard count there for Shawnee Mission North, and we had a lot of movement from the defensive side, so we're going to get a more in-depth look of it, and that's exactly what it is. That's the second offside penalty that we've seen tonight, or maybe encroachment. I'm not exactly what it is. But with that will bring it, instead of 3rd and 8, now more 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 3 from the 5-yard line. So Shawnee Mission North still with a 3rd down in front of them. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. They have a 1-point lead, but certainly making their way down the field very quickly here on this drive. And there's the whistle blown, and in the shotgun formation, Casares comes up to the line and looks like a timeout to be called. The coach unhappy maybe with the way the team is lined up right now. So,
I'll tell you what it was is Lawrence was in a very strange position. They were very, very spread out, and they were going to do something that I don't think North was ready for at all. I believe they were going to go for that punt, and they were ready for just about anything. And it seemed like whatever the defensive call was designed specifically for whatever North was planning on doing. And it looked like they just wanted to reset and rethink this thing.
Well, and that will be the first timeout taken there from Shawnee Mission North. Again, with a 1-point advantage, 7-6 right now after the missed PAT, unfortunately, from the Chesty Lions just a moment ago. But a huge run on the first play of this drive has led Shawnee Mission North now inside the red zone and, more importantly, inside the 10 but now faced with a 3rd down and 3. And they went back to the drawing board, took a quick timeout. And now they come back onto the field with, again, we'll see how both teams react with this 3rd down and 3 inside the 10-yard line. Do they go through the air, which, again, we've seen Casares. Both Casares as well as on the our side, Banks Bowen has certainly been able to show the accuracy and their throwing ability. So where do they go with it? 3 wide. Home crowd certainly involved. Casares in the backfield. And he's got Judah Jones to his right. Again, the man that broke the 70-yard run just moments ago. 2 receivers to his right. 1 in the slot position and a slot position receiver to his left as well. He's going to hand it. No, play action pass and incomplete as he tried to get it to his slot receiver to the left and in and out of the hands, but better defense as well. Making the contact, 3rd down turns to 4th down.
And I will tell you what, this Casares is a good quarterback. I had no clue where that ball was. I had none. I had the binoculars on him, and he totally faked me out. Let's see what they do here. They've got a really good field goal kicker, but it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
And this time they're actually going to spread out the field a little bit more, 4 wide, 2 to each side. Casares in that shotgun formation again. Are they going to try and get motion? I think that might be what they're trying to do. Maybe get this defense to move a little bit. 10 now on the play clock. Casares comes back in the shotgun, and he's got Jones to his right, and he's met the backfield.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Josh Galbraith and Hayden Reese make that stop there. Great combo. Just a great job by the sophomore and the senior.
What a huge defensive stop. You've got to give that, first of all, that front 4 and the linebacking crew a lot of credit because, again, they hadn't given up really any penetration to interior runs all game. Then they give up a 60, nearly 70-yard run on the opening play of the drive, and then they stuff them inside the 10. So that is where LHS offense will start. And that's going to be Banks Bowen again taking it to his left. He's going to run out in a straight QB run and a nice, 7-8 yard pickup there as he just muscles his way past the first line of defense and gets shouldered out of bounds. So Bowen will get it at least outside of their 10-yard line up to the 17, nearly the 20.
Yeah, nice little 8-yard pickup there by Banks. And he just followed his blockers, moved to the outside, and just a great little quarterback run.
You got to think that this team has a little bit of momentum right now after that great defensive stop. They're going to hand it off, try and run it straight up the middle, and he's going to be met almost immediately. I think they give him a couple of feet, and that's about it. So 2nd down and short becomes 3rd down and short. So I think they do give him a yard, so 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, and that was Malcolm Paul who got that one.
Yeah, they're going to keep Paul in the backfield in the pistol formation right now. 3 wide for Bowen. He's got 2 to his right, and Bowen's just going to hang on to this. A direct quarterback run, and he shifts field, and he goes back to the left side, and 1st down picked up nearly to the 30-yard line. And I'll tell you what, those design quarterback runs right now have certainly shown some success here for LHS.
Well, and that was all Banks Bowen. That was a great run because he had every intention of coming to our side of the field. But, man, he saw a slot to the opposite, and he just switched levels and went that way and took that for the big 1st down, 8-yard pickup by our quarterback.
Now we got nearly 60 seconds to go, and a great outward pass and in and out of the hands of his slot receiver.
I mean, that was a gift. That was right there, perfectly thrown ball right in his hands, and would have been an easy 1st down had Mason picked that up, just unable to hang on.
Well, and I'll tell you what, it's also credit to Banks Bowen. A lot of times with receivers, when they make that initial break, they aren't actually looking at the quarterback. However, when you get to the higher levels, whether it be Division I or even Division II, or again onto the NFL, a lot of times quarterbacks make those throws even before the quarterback makes the break. And here is now the 2nd down and 10 play. And again, they're going to try and run up the middle and finding no success right now with that run up the middle. They're finding success with either the quarterback options or some sweep plays. And of course, Banks Bowen and both Casares have shown their skills through the air as well. But tonight, LHS struggling on the ground up the middle.
Yeah, 1-yard loss there by Taj.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 11. And Banks Bowen will set up the offense with 4 wide, 3 to his left, 1 to his right. And he's got Taj Edwards in the backfield with him as well. 5 of the line as he waits for the shotgun, and they're going to bring an extra rush as well And he's going to throw it across the middle to a slot receiver. It's caught, but it's going to be just shy of the first
No,
down.
I don't know.
Let's see.
That is really, really close.
That's going to be Malcolm Paul, and they're going to give him the chains. Great throw over the middle. Not only that, but great concentration to hang on to the football, and a first down picked up for the Chesty Lions.
Was it? And it might have been Gabe Wingert. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might have been Gabe Wingert who made that catch.
It's either a 6 or a 5, yeah. You've got the...
So we'll give him 11 yards on that pickup for Gabe.
It probably was a 6 because I do believe Malcolm was in the backfield. So with that is going to go 3-2-1 for the first quarter of play. A very quick first quarter of play here from Homecoming 2023 at Lawrence High School from LHS. Of course, alongside Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck here on FM 101.7 and 1320 KLWN. We're going to take a 1-minute step aside when we come back. Second quarter action here on KLWN. Thanks for tuning in over the air or over our website as well.
The Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry in Lawrence welcomes Dr. Kelly Dummerth.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Dummerth. I have recently started at Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry. What I'm super excited to bring to the table is a whole nother focus on the aesthetic side of smile design, bringing in Lawrence Dental Aesthetics so that we can focus on the cosmetic side of smile makeovers, Botox, filler, whitening, crowns, veneers, anything that you can think of that can really enhance your smile.
The Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry, kind, caring, and understanding when you need it most. Online at kansascenterforsedationdentistry.com.
All right, welcome back in FM 101.7 and 1320 KLWN's coverage of LHS football here as we find ourselves in a wonderful evening for football. And we find ourselves now in the second quarter as 12 minutes are down. Teams have switched sides, and the LHS Chesty Lions offense will come back out onto the field with more chances here in the first half. Currently down by 1 point. Both these teams came out on their first drives and were able to score a touchdown. LHS, unfortunately, was unable to hit the PAT and tie the game at 7, which, by the way, is the first missed field goal this year by that unit. And now we find ourselves with a fresh clock, a switch side, and LHS here on Homecoming with their offense trying to impede their will once again on their next drive up the field. This one's once again going to be a quarterback option. And Banks Bowen making his way another 6-7 yards. And boy, Matt, I'm telling you now, of course, as an offensive coordinator and as a coach, you never want to put your quarterback in so much, threat of being injured. But tonight, it seems that he picks up 6-7 yards every time he touches the ball and runs with it.
Well, it's really what he does and what he does best. But tonight, he's been able to mix it in with great passes and great pickups.
And he's just going to dump it off to his man, or try to, I should say, but a bad pass there. And Bowen, normally known for inaccuracy, and he just overthrew his man. He was trying to get it to Malcolm Paul here on the short side. But
I'd say that ball was catchable. Maybe just a little mistimed a little bit by the two of those guys together. But if all he would have had to do is, he definitely deflected that ball. And if you can touch the ball, you almost think you should be able to grab it as a
No, you're
as a
right.
receiver.
I think it just lacked touch because they were so close to each other. I think he threw it a little bit too hard. And nonetheless, either way, it's an incomplete pass, and it brings up 3rd down and 4. That's Edwards in the backfield alongside Bowen. 4 wide, 2 to each side. We got a timeout
Lawrence
taken.
High.
So that's going to be Coach Bowen's first charge timeout here in this first half. 11:22 to go. Again, as I had mentioned, it is 7-6 right now. LHS truly looking good here on both of these first couple of drives that we have seen, but right now met with a 3rd down. And Matt, I pose you now a question. Even if they don't pick up a single yard here, 3rd and 4, you're trying right now to continue with the momentum. Do you try a 4th down if, again, you don't lose any yards here? If you gain some yards or if you pick up the first down, obviously that's the best case scenario here. But are you in 4-down territory, or do you want to flex that just yet? Or are you trying and flip the field position? Because it's close.
I have no reason to pick either one at this point. The defense has shown me that they can hold close to the goal line, but not downfield. And so I don't have a real good feel for it. And every prediction I've tried to make with Clint Bowen, I have been wrong this season.
And I think that's what he wanted those extra minutes for, but he's going to give it to Bowen. And a wide open receiver over the middle, a slot receiver. That's Taj Edwards. That takes it. He catches it about 15 yards and takes it an additional 10 great pickup on third down. Not only that, but a great play call there, and certainly a worthy timeout to take a couple of extra moments there to really get the play call right, and that will bring up a first down, and they're going to hurry up now. And they're going to bring 4 wide again, however, 3 to his left, and they're going to give it back to Edwards. Edwards going to try and use the blocking to his left side. Heavy stiff arm, and he picks up 4, maybe 5 yards, and I think they're going to give him that 5-6 yard pickup. And a second down and manageable upcoming there, and a big stiff arm there from Taj Edwards on the first down run.
Yeah, nice 6-yard pickup there for Taj.
And again, trying to
call it 5 yards, I guess. 5 yards for Taj.
Be a little bit quick with the play calling here and maybe using that to their advantage. As Shawnee Mission North looking a little bit on their heels here on this drive. 4 wide once again. Bowen with 2 to each side. From the shotgun, Bowen wants to throw. A little out route, almost intercepted.
Yeah, nice defensive play there by the Bison.
And that was a great pickup. That's Tristan Middleton on the defense.
And pass intended for Mason Mosman, and just Mason had no chance on that because of the great defensive play by the Bison.
Well, and a great man-to-man read as well, as truly he was just watching the quarterback operate, and if you watch the quarterback and you're able to see his eyes when he designates to a receiver, which exactly he did, almost immediately you can read that pretty well. Almost came away with a nice pick, and he is immediately met in the backfield, but he finds his man. Great pickup there from Paul, and more or less great job from Bowen to escape the pressure. Got pushed to the right side outside of the pocket, and a first down picked up LHS.
And just a great, he's been very, very accurate at that, right over the middle, about midway up the field. A nice little 8-yard pickup for Malcolm Paul on that one.
Well, and you sometimes have designed routes for those little dump-offs when you do get pressured like that. Here's a little offset pistol, and they are a little play-action pass, trying to get a wide receiver screen to the near side, and Mosman gets another nice 6, maybe 7-yard pickup here for LHS on the first down.
Call that 8.
Let's do it. 2nd and 2 upcoming here for LHS, and tell you what, over the air tonight, Banks Bowen has been very accurate and continuing to pick up yards over the air and on the ground. It is number 4. Again, that offset pistol formation, 3 wide, 2 to his right. This time Bowen's going to hang on to it himself, and he's immediately met in the backfield, and I think they're going to get him right at that line of scrimmage and bring up a third down and short. Bowen, again, he can only do so much, but that time Shawnee Mission North in the backfield right at the line of scrimmage and making a nice open field tackle.
At this point, 13-play drive.
And this would be huge because, again, we saw Shawnee Mission North take a huge chunk of clock away from that first quarter, and now LHS kind of emulating that here on this drive. We are currently at 9 minutes, 20 seconds. They still trail by 1 here on homecoming night. LHS 6, Shawnee Mission North Bison 7. 3rd down and 2. And the snap to Bowen now. Nice little option play. He's going to pitch it out, and Paul, he's got room. He's going to take it. End zone, touchdown.
Touchdown, Malcolm Paul, and what an option play there by Banks. He held it till the absolute last second before he pitched that ball out to Paul. Paul was able to take it up the field and get that touchdown. Great play by Banks, Bowen, and Malcolm Paul.
And you know what? I think Banks maybe even had a lane himself if he wanted to take it up the middle, but he took the lick, he gave it off to Paul, and Paul did the rest, diving in towards the pylon, and another 6 points picked up. We'll see now if the PAT unit can come in and maybe redeem themselves. That's a much better looking kick, and right through the uprights it is. So 13-7, 9:04 to play here in the first half of play. And with that, we'll take a quick 30-second step aside as, of course, here on KLWN, LHS Chesty Lion football will return after this. They're currently up by 6, 13-7. Back in a minute.
Your quarterback getting sacked is about as disruptive as flooding, fire damage, or mold-infested walls to your home or business. Get up off the turf and go for the end zone with Rainbow Restoration, locally owned with over 20 years of experience. They can help you with any water, fire, and mold cleanup with their IICRC certified technicians, free assessments, and local experts to help you from start to finish. Call Rainbow Restoration to solve your home disaster at 785-371-2400 and get your phone call answered by a real human instead of an answering service.
Citizen soldiers of the Kansas Army National Guard answer the call whenever their communities need them. We live here, we work here, we serve here. Our doctors treat the sick, our technology specialists keep lines of communication running. We safeguard our country, our state,
20 seconds.
Our communities. and we have a place for you. Your part-time service can make all the difference in the world and at home. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Kansas.
Sponsored by the Kansas Army National Guard and aired in cooperation with the Kansas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
And welcome back in to FM 101.7 and 1320 KLWN's coverage of LHS Chesty Lion football. It's homecoming night. Here's the kickoff after the recent touchdown there for the Chesty Lions on a powerful offensive run. However, it fielded at the 20-yard line, and now pretty good return. 30 yards already past the 50, now past the 40, and finally wrapped up and taken down near the 30-yard line. And Shawnee Mission North coming off of that kickoff. Now, of course, LHS has flipped sides, and it does seem like the wind is blowing from south to north. So, of course, if you've ever been here to the home field of the Chesty Lions, as they go from north to south, or here from the broadcast booth to the home side, from right to left, seemed like that ball stuck up there quite a bit. It was fielded at the 20, and a huge return there for Shawnee Mission North.
And that was Andre who kicked off on this one.
And that brings them all the way up to the 32-yard line. But if you're just tuning in with us now, LHS coming off of a great drive that took about 4.5 minutes off the clock. We're at about 8:52 until we head to halftime here from LHS Homecoming 2023. And North now will take the snap, shotgun formation, and he wants to bomb to the end zone, and good defense as well, and probably a little bit overthrown, but they tried to go with the one-on-one matchup to that far side, and an incomplete pass will bring up second down.
Yeah, and you called it. There was really no way he was going to get to that ball.
I was going to say, I'm not sure he was going to get it anyway.
He was well covered, but he was in front of the Lions defender. I believe it was Xander Thomas who was chasing him down, but that there was no way he was going to get to that ball.
That is 5'11" quarterback Alex Casares, by the way, with a good cannon. We've obviously seen the strength of his arm and the accuracy so far tonight, but that one coming up obviously a little bit long there on the attempt. 3 wide once again here for North. And they might have a little wide receiver sweep and actually a quarterback option. Casares is going to hang on to it, but he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, maybe getting a yard or two, but Casares is met, and now third down and long upcoming for Shawnee Mission North.
Yeah, and I almost think he was met behind the line of scrimmage, but Casares is able to wiggle his way around those big linemen who wrapped him up almost immediately and able to pick up a yard that absolutely was not there.
Gets it down to the 31-yard line, so it was a 1-yard gain, but you're right. He was met behind the line, somehow was able to extend his body, so third down and 9 from the far hash line. And Lawrence High on that previous drive did a great job on that third down and fourth down, as they were able to avoid giving up that score and then took over the lead on the next drive. And a great job behind the line once again. I think they're going to stuff them right at the line of scrimmage, but boy, I'll tell you what, anytime either of these teams, really only one play tonight that we've seen success, but running up the middle has not been an option for anybody.
And I tell you, there were a bunch of lines in there, but Connor Nowak was in there. Connor Nowak has really, really impressed me so far this year. Just comes up with a lot of big defensive plays, but good job by Connor on that one.
This is an awkward distance to kick a field goal at the high school level, so they are going to keep the offense. 4th and 9, 4 wide now. Casares, he's pressured immediately in the backfield, and he's going to be wrapped up, sacked, and behind the line. They're going to take the ball over near midfield.
Yeah. What a great combo. Devin Foster and Noah Richardson. But the sophomore and the junior coming up huge on that play as Devin Foster, a guy who we got introduced to 3 weeks ago as a sophomore, who's just made a huge impact on this LHS team this year.
Well, and a great play call as well to really kind of overwhelm the offensive line. It seemed like sometimes you live and die by the blitz, and boy, they're living by it on that one. They came with every bit that they had. They got into the backfield, and more importantly, Matt, not only that, but they flipped the side of the ball too. They were nearly 10 yards backward from where they are now. They are starting at their own 45-yard line. 7:15 to go here in the first half of play, and from the pistol formation, Bowen awaits on the snap. Little play action, looks left, wants to throw deep. He has a man deep, wide open. He's got it. 15.
It was a strike.
Touchdown, Lions.
It was a strike to Gabe Wingert at the 20-yard line, 40 yards in the air from Banks Bowen. In for the touchdown, Lions touchdown, and they will extend this lead.
Matt, you and I were at week number 1, and what was one of our takeaways where was that accuracy?
Where was the accuracy? Banks Bowen has come alive tonight.
There it is.
Strikes, runs, quick pitches. I mean, everything. He's done everything so far in this first half.
55 yard touchdown. With 7 minutes to go, 55 yards for the score, and there is the PAT, and the second of 3 goes through, making it now 20-7, and LHS doing it in both fashions, through the air, on the ground. Banks Bowen leading the way. We'll take a quick 30-second step aside as Shawnee Mission North coming up next.
And just like that, it all comes down to this. 4th and goal. Matt, take yourself inside the huddle. What play are you calling?
I'm saying, let's go to 23rd Street Brewery.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's the biggest play of the game.
No better time than that. There's no better spot to watch football than 23rd Street Brewery. We've got the Lions, the Firebirds, of course the Jayhawks, and all the NFL action.
Well, we better get out of here fast to catch the ending of the game. Dibs on the Haney turkey stack.
That's the 23rd Street Brewery, corner of Clinton Parkway and Castle.
It's Homecoming 2023 here from Lawrence High School. Quick reminder that today's broadcast is brought to you by 23rd Street Brewery. Also, coming up at halftime, both Matt Llewellyn and I, my broadcast partner, will be breaking down this first half, and boy, what an explosive one it was. Matt, what a snipe, what a play call as well. Coming off of, again, picking up the football at the 45-yard line and then taking advantage and striking down the field while they're vulnerable, and with that, it leads to a 20-7 lead LHS.
Well, and that's kind of been what the LHS has done this year. Have not started off big, but have finished big 3 out of the 4 games this year so far, and that's what's happened here tonight with Banks Bowen really coming alive with his quarterback skills and seeing exactly what that young man can do.
Well, and I think it's a great play call as well. Here's a little squib kick. Actually, it's tipped in and out. Now there's a big jumble and pile of bodies around the 40-yard line of Shawnee Mission North. I think North has it, of course.
No, Lawrence High have it.
Wow. I think that's 45. Hayden Reese.
Hayden Reese comes up big again. Hayden Reese with the football, and they've done that several times this year, the little squib kick, but it kind of has come at different times in the games. You never quite know when it's going to happen, but it's happened in every single game this year, and they do it again. The ball is out and bobbled, and those guys just get down and get that ball, and they were in a scrum down there at the 41-yard line, and Hayden Reese comes up with it. So the Lions are going to have the ball on the 41 into Bison territory.
You know, Matt, I got to give some credit not just to the execution, because obviously we've seen these plays played around as much as we have here with LHS, as now in the offset pistol formation, 4 wide here for Bowens, and in fact he's going to put Taj Edwards to his right this time, and it looks like he's going to hand it off to Edwards. Edwards has a hole up the middle, 5, maybe 10 yards picked up, and a great run on first down, I believe, has the chains picked up. And a great run does have the chains picked up, and a first down on the ground there for LHS. But, Matt, you got to give some credit to the play calling here. 2 plays in a row, not only, again, coming off of a turnover on downs and then a 55-yard pass through the air, kind of striking and taking advantage of that momentum, and then turning around and calling a special teams play so bold. This is LHS football right here to a T. And here's another
there goes
play
Taj.
on Edwards again to the left side. And, boy, he's not that big a guy, 5'9", 160 pounds, and he is just barreling through the defense.
He absolutely is. And what are we going to call that? A 16-yard pickup there by Taj.
2 runs, 25 yards. Boy, don't you love that kind of production? So here is LHS once again in that offset eye. This time it's going to be, looks like Malcolm Paul in the backfield with him, or excuse me, that's the offset pistol. And it looks like a timeout taken, I believe. And they're going to slow things down. That one is going to be a timeout on Shawnee Mission North. We'll go ahead and stay right here. But, Matt, again, you got to give some credit. Let's go ahead and set the scene. 6:26 right now remaining in the first half of play. 20-7. LHS has turned on the Jets not only offensively but defensively as well. But these last 4 or 5 plays have culminated in so many yards, so many different play changes, and not only that, but also possession changes. They got the possession due to a turnover on downs. They made a 55-yard pass through the air for 1 play, 1 touchdown, 7 easy points, 7 quick points. They come out, turn around a little squib kick, and they get the onside recovery. You've got to love the play calling so far in these last few moments.
Absolutely, and it's what Clint does at best. I mean, look, we are very long in the tooth when it comes to coaching on this team, and Clint absolutely loves his coaching staff. He's told me many times how lucky he is to have the guys that he's got this year. Young coaches who are hungry and keep on continuing to learn, and some long guys who've been around a long time and know a lot of stuff, and they're great for the experience they have, and just a great coaching staff, and that is what you're seeing tonight, well at play, as well as the excellent play of Banks Bowen.
All right, out of the timeout, Bowen, Banks himself will be again in that offset, almost pistol now, actually in the shotgun formation, 2 to each side. As now he waits on the snap, and he's immediately pressured, and boy, that was in the drawing book right there. And in the timeout, of course, Shawnee Mission North, that had to be about as drawn up as I've ever seen him play, and LHS was not ready for it.
Nope. They didn't see that one coming for sure, because Banks, he didn't have time to think. Those guys were quick through that line.
I'm glad he didn't throw it, because it just would have resulted in something bad, and instead he just has to take a face mask to his helmet, and that will result in a 6-yard loss. But, boy, Shawnee Mission North turned on the Jets on that one. They brought 4, but they brought them in a different kind of spy formation. And that will bring up now 2nd down and long here for Banks. He'll take the snap. And a better job there from the offensive line. He wants to float this one to the corner, and the right idea, but he overthrew his target in the far side, I believe.
And I don't know that he did. I think he put it right. I think Malcolm Paul slowed up back there in the corner of the end zone. I don't know why, but it appeared that Malcolm slowed up because he threw it right to the corner of the end zone, right where you want to get it to have success, and it just was not to be on that one.
Well, and you got to give him credit as well. In terms of being a quarterback, at least throw it where the defense can't get it. He threw it where only his receiver could get it, and you're right, Malcolm Paul just didn't happen to be in that location at the time. So an incomplete pass will bring up now 3rd down and 15 here for LHS. They are inside the 20-yard line. He wants to throw again, one-on-one to the end zone. Oh! A nice defensive play on this one-on-one matchup, and I believe that's Wingard again.
Yeah. And Wingard wanted a flag on it, but wasn't going to get it. It was just absolutely a great defensive play, and that ball for a split second was a jump ball that you almost thought that Gabe Wingard, while he was on the ground, was going to be able to pick that up. But we're not going for it. It looks like we're going to try the 3-point try here.
This one's going to be 35 yards from the near hash. And awaiting the snap. If it's to be a clean one, he certainly has the leg to do it. Looks a little left, and that is what's going to be the case. He's missed it left twice today, one on a PAT, this time on the 35-yard attempt. He's got plenty of leg, but pulling it a little bit tonight.
Yeah, and Andre, he's been extremely accurate, and from 35-yard line, in a lot of times high school, that is not for 35-yard field goal. That's not a gimme, but for Andre, it really is inside 40, and Andre is pretty darn good, but unable to connect on that one, and that would have actually been his first field goal of the season. But when I'm talking about good, I'm talking about what I've seen in practice. I mean, he is really good with those mid-range and short field goals, and obviously then until tonight hadn't missed a PAT, but here he misses a PAT and a field goal try.
Well, the dangerous duo of Judah Jones and Alex Casares returns to the field here for the Shawnee Mission North Bison offense. Currently down 13 as LHS here on homecoming night with a significant lead as we find ourselves with 5:30 to go in the first half of play. A quick throw to the left, and in the zone formation, they just found a opening in that zone defense, and a quick 5 yards turns into a 10 additional yards after the catch. And he found a wide receiver on that left side. And boy, he just muscled his way for an additional 10 yards. Nice pickup there on 1st down. And that will bring now Shawnee Mission North to the 36-yard line of their own. LHS now trying to respond to that, but of course speeding things up, and with the ball down, but being pushed out of bounds, it will stay at 5:22, 4 wide. And Casares, a little play action pass, and he has a man just over the middle, and that's Jeremiah Looney. Looney, by the way, was the one that just made that fantastic stop over here. And the incomplete pass, he's able to pick up 5 and then maybe shoulder his way for an additional 1 or 2 yards, and I think that's what they'll give him. So 2nd down and 3 upcoming here.
Yeah, Mekhi Hernandez had his number the whole way coming in, but it was really, really hard for Mekhi to bring him down. He had him by the feet. Mekhi was on the ground with him, but he was still kind of kicking and moving before the alignment was able to come in there and clean up the garbage.
Casares now 3 wide again, but they're going to give it back to Jones. Jones goes right up the middle. He gets the 1st down, but that's about all he gets. So 3 yards, 1st down picked up near the 50-yard line.
But then a nice hit by Xander Thomas. Xander able to come up there and just make him pay for the yardage that he got. Xander cleaned up the garbage there.
I like that statement. Made him pay for the yardage that he got. So indeed. And that's sometimes what you do as a defense. If you just continue to wear and tear that offense, it certainly pays off later in the game. So now we've got 3 wide once again here for Shawnee Mission North. 1st down. They're going to have a man in motion. That's Jordan White coming in motion. And instead they're going to hand it back off to Jones. Jones straight up the middle, and he's wrapped up by his knees. And a 2-yard pickup is all he gets, so a 1st down run up the middle only garners 2, maybe 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming.
And the sheet says Jones is 5'8", 187. He sure does look a lot bigger than that to me.
He does. Well, 187 for 5'8", that's a big boy, certainly. But he does look a little taller than 5'8", doesn't he? I think they're being a little...
But typically coaches don't under-exaggerate. They usually over-exaggerate.
Well, he's got 2 in the backfield with him, and instead it's going to be a nice triple option play. And he's going to give it right over to Jones. And he fumbled the ball. It got out, but did it go out of bounds? Did LHS get the possession before it went out of bounds?
But Xander Thomas was on that ball right away, but they are saying it was out of bounds.
Oh, wow, that was very close, and very close to the 1st down pickup as well, as, again, he just spun his way out of the initial tackle, but within that initial tackle, the ball also came loose and went towards the far sideline, and that's going to be the case. So 2nd and 8 turns now into 3rd and 1, and nearly LHS coming away with a takeaway, but instead it will be Shawnee Mission North. And I believe the clock will actually continue on as well. It will. So that's almost as if the football never came out. Kind of a bizarre play. But here we are now on 3rd down and very short. They're going to stack the offensive line, but they'll put 3 wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the slot receiver in this near side, and 2 in the backfield. And they're going to give it right once again to Judah Jones. Jones darts his way straight up through the offensive line for a 1st down pickup and another 4 or 5 yard. And in fact, I believe that was Looney on the run, I should say. So that was Jeremiah Looney, and 5'10" junior was in the backfield with both him and Jones. And that will pick up another 1st down. I will note once again, Matt, we saw this on the first drive of the game. Shawnee Mission North, when they do find sustained drives, it's taking them quite a bit of time to get down the field. And here's a quarterback option once again. Smoked the running back. However, the quarterback hung on to it. Then he flips it out to his right receiver. And a great job again from Lawrence High. It seemed like they kind of sniffed out that option play. Good 5 yards picked up on the ground, but boy, they were in the backfield pretty quick.
They were, and again, just they've got this option down. Does North, and Casares is great fake handoffs. I mean, it's very difficult for me to see what's going on, but it's very clear that the Lawrence High defense has being tricked quite a bit as well.
Casares wants to throw this time. 2nd and 5, tries to get it to his slot receiver, in and out of his hands. And that will be an incomplete pass. It would have been a 1st down pickup, but just kind of in and out of the breadbasket.
Nice job, though, by Jaden Harrell. Again, a sophomore making an impact, but Jaden was able, as soon as that receiver made contact with the ball, Jaden gave him a lick, and that ball just popped out, so it was an incomplete pass, totally created by the defensive work of Jaden Harrell.
And certainly credit where it's credit's due tonight. The Bison have been fairly successful on 3rd down conversions. They find themselves with another one. 2:09 to go in the first half of play. It's 3rd down and 5. They're down by 13, and they'll have a man in motion. And they're going to put him in motion, but they want to throw the football, and they're going to get it to that man in motion here on this near side. That's Jordan White, picks up the 1st down, changes directions now to the far side sideline, and he finally gets wrapped up near the sideline. He'll stay in bounds.
But I tell you what, I really like what Xander Thomas did on that. Xander was down on the ground when that ball was thrown and made the catch. But Xander, down on the ground, got in a three-point stance and then came up and made that tackle. So nice play by Xander, sticking with it and able to make a touchdown-saving tackle.
And importantly, keeping him in bounds as well, which will keep the clock running now at 1:40. 4 wide once again, and Casares, he's immediately pressured, but he gets out of it. 5 yards picked up. Now the first down, and boy, number 4 has been a menace tonight, especially when he's pressured and has to get out of the pocket. That time, he found positive yardage and a first down.
Yeah, and Josh Galbraith was anticipating. And Josh Galbraith, did you see how high he leaped? He leaped, it appeared that he could have hurdled one of those blockers, but just misjudged where Casares was going to be. And Josh Galbraith made a very impressive looking play, but didn't work because Casares was able to pick up another first down.
3 wide now here for the North Bison. He's got one in the backfield with him. That's, of course, Jones. Now he wants to hand it off to Jones, and Jones not getting much, maybe 3 yards of penetration there off the right side of his offensive line. More importantly, the clock will continue to run now. They do have 2 timeouts to be taken now on 2nd and 7. But, again, Casares having success over the air right now, but more importantly also scrambling. So we'll see what is their play call here. They're going to rush to the line, 48 seconds to go. And he's going to hand it, actually, play a quarterback option. Casares is going to hang on to it himself, and he's just going to muscle his way down. Do they give him the first? I think he's about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, he is. Clock is still running.
And, yeah, that's important. Again, they do have 2 timeouts to burn, but instead they're just going to rush themselves up to the line.
I think they're going to wait. I mean, very interesting that they're not stopping it, but here they go.
Casares, quarterback sneak, and it's a direct sneak. LHS got him at the line, maybe even behind the line, and we'll see. Does the timeout finally come now?
Yes, it does. Clock will stop.
15 seconds, and yes, the offensive timeout will be taken. They do have one more after this as well, but Casares, great job again defensively, meeting him right at the defensive line. I think they may have gotten him behind the line.
But they absolutely did not want to put it in the hands of Lawrence High, and you'd almost think that so if they get it, well, I mean, they're obviously going to go for this first down. Well, I say obviously. I don't know what they're going to do.
So, well, and that's the thing is 3rd down and long turns into now a 4th and 2. With 15 seconds to go, you have to think, being at the 2-yard line, you can still pick up the first down realistically and then go for another play with the timeout.
But they're 4th and 2, and so then the ball would be on the
1.
So yeah,
technically.
Yeah.
If they only picked up the first down, or they could just score the touchdown, right? Wouldn't that be the best case scenario? I think that's what
4th down and 2, and then and the 10-yard marker is right at about the looks like about the 1 3/4 line. Just being technical here, and the ball is on the almost the 4th yard.
Noteworthy, by the way, this would be the second time that the LHS defense stops them inside the red zone if they come away with the stop here. 15 seconds to go until we head to halftime. LHS 20, Shawnee Mission North 7. Here's the snap. 4th down and 3 and a flag before anything even happens. Boy, before anything happened, we'll see exactly what it is. I think we're going to come back 5 yards.
12 men on the field.
Yes, indeed.
12 men on the field.
And that is exactly what it is. Is that a 5? Is that a 5 or a 10?
That'll be a 5.
So yeah, exactly. Come back 5.
Anytime there are 12 men on the field, takes me back. Now, I was alive. I was only 2, but it takes me back to the 1968 KU Orange Bowl where we had it won because we had stopped Penn State. But we had 12 men on the field, and apparently that's an illegal. So
now
they were able to rerun the play and score the touchdown was Penn State and win that Orange Bowl.
Now it looks like they're going to change up their thought process here on the offensive side. With 15 seconds, they're going to bring out the field goal unit. So with the special teams out there, that's got plenty of leg.
And that looks wide.
And no, actually,
they call it good.
It was left, but just inside the post it goes, and that will make it now a 10-point game heading into halftime. Now, of course, LHS will have 11 seconds here. So we'll see. Of course, we've seen crazier things, but that's plenty of time to maybe break something open on the special teams unit here, or again the kickoff. But we'll go ahead and stick around, and then we'll take an extended break as we head into halftime. Don't forget our halftime show brought to you by 23rd Street Brewery coming up here in just a short moment. As we will break down this first half, we'll take a look around the region. We'll get you some updated scores as well from some regional schools, as well as a look into the weekend as our schedule here on KLWN. It's going to be a fun weekend as, of course, KU is on the road down in Austin, Texas, and we will have that game on the air for you here on KLWN tomorrow. And, of course, you can watch it down at the 23rd Street Brewery as well, as I'm sure you guys will have that one on the air. If you don't, I would be a little disappointed.
Why would we not have it? We will have that. We have every KU game. Isn't that in my commercial? Every KU game.
Right. All righty. So after the nice field goal, actually, a nice 30-yard field goal, and the successful attempt will now cut the lead to 10. So it is 20-10. 11 seconds. Well, we'll go ahead and say 12 because it's 11.8 seconds to go here in this first half of play. So we'll see what is the move. Do they try and maybe put something on the ground and kill a bunch of time, or maybe just boot it downfield? They do have the wind going with them. And here's the kickoff as the Shawnee Mission North Bison kicking from left to right. Boy, this is a weird kind of little chip kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 35. And that's going to be Malcolm Paul, and he's going to bring it up near the 40, but kind of a weird little chip kick.
Well, and I don't know that they realized it, but they were kicking it right to Malcolm Paul. I would be a wrong guy to kick to if I were them, but he was just on that second line. But Malcolm picked it up and not able to gain anything on the return. So, as it turns out, by design for the Bison.
Yeah, it couldn't have been maybe one of the worst options to kick it towards. At 6'2", 215 pounds, also quick. Normally in that tailback or wide receiver position. And
8 seconds to go, and Banks just takes a knee to take it into halftime.
And that's exactly what's going to be. So 3-2-1 goes the first half, and a good one at that. Back and forth it was on those first couple of drives. Shawnee Mission North was able to get up on the scoreboard with 7 points. And then, of course, the most recent field goal just a moment ago, giving them 10. 20 points on the board for LHS. 3 touchdowns, 1 missed PAT attempt. And I'll tell you what, a lot of good things to look forward to, but a lot of things to break down as well. And that's exactly what we're going to do during halftime. So alongside my broadcast partner, Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck up here in our Kurt Gieser State Farm of Lawrence broadcast booth. Like a good neighbor, Kurt Gieser State Farm team is here to serve all of your insurance needs, I should say. Give Kurt and his team a call. And also, Truity Credit Union. Get your Chesty Lions Spirit debit card today. Each purchase you make with the card raises money for our schools. You swipe, they give. Visit a branch or truitycu.org/Spirit card to learn more. Stand up and fight for your Lawrence Lions. And we've got a lot of great halftime festivities to come up as well. So we're going to take a couple of extended breaks. We're going to find ourselves, of course, here at halftime and breaking down not only that, but I believe, Matt, you've got some special a part of the homecoming court, as well as a little bit more information going on within that. So we'll break down the students that are involved with things, and then we'll also break down this first half, and then we'll get you back to second half football coming up here on FM 101.7 and 1320 KLWN. For David Ward, who's, of course, on the switches with us, Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck. We'll be back here after an extended break. Halftime, LHS 20, Shawnee Mission North 10. Back after this.
Sigler Pharmacy, Lawrence's hometown pharmacy since 2005, now has a third location in Lawrence. Sigler has merged with Medical Arts Pharmacy at 346 Main. Sigler and Medical Arts founders share the same philosophy in taking unmatched care of their customers with total dedication for the Lawrence community. Transfer your prescriptions to a Sigler Pharmacy and get a free pair of medical support socks while supplies last. Check out all their services and locations at SiglerPharmacy.com.
Time doesn't slow down, and you've got so much planned already going on every day. One thing you don't always plan for is surprises, especially an unpleasant one like a car accident. Your mind immediately starts spinning with questions about damages, coverage, injuries to you or the other party, and those questions might be urgent. The Law Office of Sally Kelsey in Lawrence is here to help. Sally Kelsey offers free consultations and has helped people with accidents for over 30 years. Let her help you with your claim and pursue any damages you are entitled to. That's Sally Kelsey, Kelsey.
Rituals. We get up, get dressed, and yes, put our pants on one leg at a time. It's true. People are creatures of habit. Heck, on game days, I bet you can't wait to get off work, jump in the car,
turn on the radio, you listen to the pregame or your favorite sports announcer while picking up your dry cleaning and heading home to watch the game. Just like a ritual or a habit, Scott's Dry Cleaners, family-owned business, has been proud to serve the Lawrence and Topeka area throughout the years. Clothing and cleaning styles may have changed, but their work and service is the same. ScotchCleaners.com.
There are a lot of Mexican restaurants that claim to be authentic or think their food tastes that way, but nothing compares to Mama's Tamale Shop. Enjoy artistically prepared tamales, empanadas, and street tacos with your choice of meats and salsas that are prepared fresh to order. Not sure what to order? Mama's will always give you a sample. Relax and enjoy great food and try one of the fresh waters or jarritos on the patio. Authentic Mexican food. Come hungry, leave satisfied. Mama's Tamale Shop, 9th in Louisiana.
The Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry in Lawrence welcomes Dr. Kelly Dummerth.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Dummerth, and I've recently started at Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry. Currently, what I'm working on bringing into the office is called Lawrence Dental Aesthetics, where we're able to focus on a lot of aesthetic side of smile design and smile redesign, and doing Botox and fillers, smile makeovers, whitening, a bunch of different stuff to really add to our whole smile goals.
The Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry. Kind, caring, and understanding when you need it most. Online at kansascenterforsedationdentistry.com.
Truity Credit Union is a proud supporter of the Lawrence High Lions and all Lawrence public schools. We've donated over $61,000 to support our schools and teachers. Get your Chesty Lions Spirit debit card today. Each purchase you make with the card raises money for our schools. You swipe, we give. Visit a branch today or online at truitycu.org/spirit card to learn more. Stand up and cheer for your Lawrence Lions with Truity. Truity Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
And just like that, it all comes down to this. 4th and goal. Matt, take yourself inside the huddle. What play are you calling?
I'm saying, let's go to 23rd Street Brewery.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's the biggest play of the game.
No better time than that. There's no better spot to watch football than 23rd Street Brewery. We've got the Lions, the Firebirds, of course the Jayhawks, and all the NFL action.
Well, we better get out of here fast to catch the ending of the game. Dibs on the Haney turkey stack.
That's the 23rd Street Brewery, corner of Clinton Parkway and Castle.
We hope you'll never need us. We hope you'll never have a flood or fire in your home. We're Service Master Restore, and we're ready to help 24/7, 365. We know every step taken makes all the difference between a small cleanup and a costly restoration. When dealing with a flood or fire, there's a lot riding on your shoulders. So we treat your home as you'd treat it, helping you during every step to get the job done to your satisfaction. We're Service Master Cleaning and Restoration by NEK. Call us at 888-55-DRY-IT. That's 888-55-DRY-IT.
Kurt Gieser State Farm Agency understands the importance of being a member in the Lawrence community and supporting local. They also understand the importance of supporting you in Lawrence, whether it's through the peace of mind you get with insurance or helping you with any financial questions or needs. Just like this high school broadcast, Kurt Gieser State Farm Agency will tackle any issues you need covered. Give Kurt and his team a call at 785-843-0003 or visit them online at www.kurtinsures.com.
Your quarterback getting sacked is about as disruptive as flooding, fire damage, or mold-infested walls to your home or business. Get up off the turf and go for the end zone with Rainbow Restoration, locally owned with over 20 years of experience. They can help you with any water, fire, and mold cleanup with their IICRC certified technicians, free assessments, and local experts to help you from start to finish. Call Rainbow Restoration to solve your home disaster at 785-371-2400 and get your phone call answered by a real human instead of an answering service.
Citizen soldiers of the Kansas Army National Guard answer the call whenever their communities need them. We live here, we work here, we serve here. Our doctors treat the sick, our technology specialists keep lines of communication running. We safeguard our country, our state, our communities, and we have a place for you. Your part-time service can make all the difference in the world and at home. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Kansas.
Sponsored by the Kansas Army National Guard and aired in cooperation with the Kansas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
1320 KLWN Lawrence and FM 1017 K269 GP Lawrence. Depend on it.
And welcome back in. It is halftime here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it. Alongside my broadcast partner, Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck, and as well as our producer, David Ward, on the switches tonight. But again, we find ourselves at the halfway point here of Homecoming 2023. A lot of festivities, of course, taking place and are underway as we had the Homecoming Committee come out and a lot of voting going on. This is kind of an exciting night at the high school level. For me, of course, I was never a part of these committees, but a lot of these kids, and of course some of them involved in the football team as well, this is a pretty special night.
I mean, it really is. Homecoming in high school is one of those kind of rituals, and it's homecoming to me is a much cooler night than prom night.
I agree to that. Yes, indeed.
and I mean, that's the way it was for me. I mean, prom night's fun and all that, but haven't you heard everybody's prom night story is always a lot of drama.
It's either really good or horrible, right? There's no in between.
I've not really ever heard a really good prom night story. Most stories evolved around prom night are always a little bit of a train wreck.
I know.
I know mine was.
There's even horror films made about it.
But homecoming is always special. It's always special because you've got everybody's involved, parents. The entire student body almost always, and you know, and then the homecoming court and the honoring of the, well, it's not a king and queen, they call them royalty now, the homecoming royalty, and so just a really, really cool night overall.
Well, and included to that, because I actually have some siblings, actually step siblings, that were involved in our marching band when I was back in high school. And well, this is actually a pretty special night for the band, for the teams, for really just the school overall. Probably a fun week as well that the students have had, and kind of nice way to finish it off with a football game, and hopefully a victory, as through the first 24 minutes of this game, LHS right now with a 10-point lead. It is 20-10 here on their home football field. They are playing the Bison of Shawnee Mission North, and they have been met by a fairly difficult challenge at the quarterback position of Alex Casares, a 5'11" sophomore quarterback that has done both on the ground and, more importantly, through the air, certainly shown quite a bit of threat to this LHS defense and really the scoreboard. And, again, a lot of potential maybe for a comeback in that second half. However, through the first half, here's kind of how it broke down. It was back and forth. Both teams scored on their opening drives. Then LHS was able to get after their missed PAT, it was 7-6, but able to get a 13, then a 20-7 lead. Then was met by a late field goal in this first half to make it 20-10. But LHS, more importantly, able to gain a lot of momentum in that second quarter. And I think that's important to note as we head into this second half now, that LHS right now seemingly with a lot of that momentum, but how do they continue with that and maybe not overlook what Shawnee Mission North has as a weapon on the quarterback side? Because this sophomore quarterback, he's the real deal, and we've seen it a couple of times tonight.
Well, after last week, I don't think that Clint Bowen's ever going to overlook anything. I think Clint would be the first one to tell you that he's caught a little bit napping last week, expecting to be able to scheme and work his way through those big East players. But, man, not this week. I don't think he's underestimating North at all. The 1-3 record does not say everything about this team. They've got a lot of talent, as you said. Great quarterback, a couple really good running backs, and some guys who can catch the ball. Not to mention, they've got some pretty good linemen, too. I mean, just from what I can see out there, it is not Shawnee Mission North for the last 15, 20 years has really been down. I mean, they have not been the powerhouse they once were, and it's very easy to overlook this team, especially with the 1-3 record. But you go deeper into it, they've got a lot of kids out and a lot of talent, and they know, you can tell they know how to coach, because there have been plays that I think Clint was taken off guard a little bit, and it looked like they outcoached Clint on some plays. But I'll always take Clint Bowen to coach my team, and that's what we have tonight. And Clint has done that. He's not overlooking anything, and I look for the lead to widen really quick in the second half. Lions are going to get the ball, and I look for them to really do some more damage. But really, a very, very balanced attack tonight. If it weren't for the 55-yard touchdown strike to Gabe Wingert, it would be right down the middle at 100 yards and 100 yards. 100 to Yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough that it's very, very evenly split. But at this point, to me, the big story in this game is Banks Bowen and what he has done today versus what he has done in the previous 4 games. I mean, extremely accurate. I'm going to give him 100% passing efficiency rating today because I believe that the 2 drops that he's had very easily could have been catches. And I mean, I think Banks has been nails, not to mention what he's been able to do on the ground. Picked up yards when they needed him to, and even on the called plays, he's done a lot of stuff. And so 70 yards on the ground for the Lions and 155 in the air, and Banks has just been money. So Banks is the story today through that first half, but we'll see where it goes. 20-10, Lions lead it here at halftime.
I think that's interesting because, obviously we've seen Banks Bowen and his ability to not only get out of the pocket, but then create second chance opportunities and get pretty significant yardage. But tonight, I think you're right. I think the main story has been the accuracy, not only the accuracy, but the abundance of throws that we have. In the high school level, you don't necessarily see coaches really going to the air game as much as we've seen tonight. Both Alex Casares on the Bison, and then, as you had mentioned, here on this side, Banks Bowen, who's been incredibly accurate up to this point. But not only that, with a 55-yard bomb, and he's had a couple of great plays on third down over the air. Those are just things that you don't normally see on the high school level. So I think that's one of the bigger stories tonight. But you're right. It is the overall melding of the offense of Banks Bowen and the rush offense and his ability to now be accurate and throw it over the air, but then also create second chance opportunities on the ground when those options aren't available. I think it's been one of the reasons as to why they're up 20-10 right now, and they hold the majority of that momentum. Big takeaway, though, as they headed into halftime, the Shawnee Mission North Bison were able to get another 3 points on the board. And I think that's noteworthy as well. Something that I've noticed on each scoring drive that Shawnee Mission North has had tonight, Matt, they've taken a lot of time off of the clock. So they're very smart and wise with their clock management and field position management so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you would have thought that would have been the game plan for them coming in and really just work that clock as much as they can, take as much time off the clock as possible. And in the first quarter, they were really able to do that. But then we were able to get it back in the second quarter and have one of those long, sustained drives of our own.
Well, open from 11 to 11. That's the place that you should be after this high school homecoming game for Lawrence High, as we are now, again, about halfway through our halftime report. But our halftime show is brought to you by the 23rd Street Brewery, and that's where we expect you to be tonight after a potential and a hopeful Chesty Lions win, and it looks like they are certainly well on their way to do so with a 10-point lead. But open from 11 to 11, you can get great options like the Naked Nachos, the Bill Self Mac and Cheese, Haney Turkey Stack, or the Hank Booth Burger, as we find ourselves currently in the Hank Booth. Come on by, watch some football, basketball, or more importantly, my favorite time of the year, baseball postseason. I know, it's football season. Everybody loves football. But for me, baseball postseason, and I'm sure you got a couple games on there at 23rd Street Brewery, don't you?
Absolutely. We'll always have a baseball game. And if we don't have a game on that you want to watch, obscure or not, ask somebody, because we can get almost everything. If it's being broadcast somewhere in the world, there's a very good possibility that we're going to be able to get it.
Now, it doesn't tell me specifically, but if I was gonna take a guess, you guys probably have 40 televisions?
No, we have 23.
You have 23 exactly? I love that.
That's what I say.
Okay, from wall to wall, you can find any game, again, from KU to the NFL or high school, anything. They've got, of course, these LHS games over the air as well, but no matter, come on by 23rd Street Brewery right there on the corner of 23rd and Castle, open from 11 to 11. And Matt, again, I'll tell you what, I always give you credit for those naked nachos. One of my favorite creations that you guys have over there.
I like those bad boys too.
Well, you don't ruin the chips.
Unfortunately, way too much. We don't ruin the chips. That's
exactly.
right.
You don't ruin the chips. All right. Well, you know what? We digress. In the band, of course, I'm glad that you were able to see that over our stream. Thank you for tuning in, whether it's on KLWN.com or just over YouTube or here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Also, encourage you to download the app. It's free. You can listen to either any of our regular program scheduled programming throughout the week, and of course, LHS Chesty Lions football is a priority here on KLWN all throughout this season. And KU football coming up tomorrow as well, and we've got a great line and scheduling of everything that's happening is, of course, KU down at the University of Texas for their road matchup as two unbeaten teams facing off in a Big 12 matchup on the road. They've had some success in Texas a couple of times these last few years. Of course, maybe not the most previous one, but recent, or I guess that would have been in Lawrence the last time that they had played, which wasn't the pretty one. But down in Texas, they've had some success, and we'll have that game for you here on KLWN. So, all right, we're just burning time here during the 23rd Street Brewery halftime report. We are just about wrapped up. Again, it is 20-10. LHS Chesty Lions with a powerful, strong first half. 3 touchdowns. A missed PAT, unfortunately, leaves them at 20. They've given up 10 on the defensive side, but more importantly is really on the defensive side, they are making this Shawnee Mission North team take a lot of time off the clock and really work for the yards that they have. So that's my big takeaway. Matt, any final notes before we send off and get ready for the second half?
I just look for more of the same balanced attack. It looks good. And if I'd love to make Banks our player of the game. But he's got to continue to do the same stuff, continue the accuracy. I love the passes to the running backs. That's been very, very effective tonight, as well as Wingard has been extremely effective. 2 catches, 77 yards, and a TD. You love what that young man has done. So keep that kind of thing up, and I think we're going to be rolling out of here with a W. But a lot of football yet to play. 24 minutes yet, and as the Lions are taking the field, getting their warm-ups ready to go for this to start this second half.
Quick reminder that, of course, our broadcast booth, which alongside my broadcast partner Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck, did want to remind you that it's brought to you by Truity Credit Union. Get your Chesty Lions Spirit Debit Card today. Each purchase you make with the card raises money for our schools, just like LHS. You swipe, they give. Visit a branch or truitycu.org/Spirit Card to learn more. Stand up and fight for your Lawrence Lions. Not only that, but also thanks to Kurt Gieser. Like a good neighbor, Kurt Gieser State Farm is there to serve all of your insurance need. Give them and his team a call today. And to 23rd Street Brewery as well as we wrap up the 23rd Street Brewery halftime report. Don't forget, open daily from 11 to 11. Catch all the games, including not only these games, but KU tomorrow and Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Always got some TVs with some good games on. So we're just about ready for second half football here. And we'll go ahead and stick around. David Ward, thanks so much for being our producer this evening. As we are just about ready. I think they're going to put a couple of more moments up there on the game clock if I were going to take a wild guess.
They'll put at least another 2 minutes up on
If I were to take a wild guess. So you know what? Let's go ahead and join them at that. We'll take a 2-minute break. We're going to put 3 minutes up there. We'll take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back here in just a couple of moments here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it. Second half football coming up. Again, LHS here on homecoming night up 20-10 over Shawnee Mission North. Back in 2 minutes right after this.
Lawrence, Kansas is steeped in history and a diverse range of attractions. At the heart of it all is the Eldridge Hotel. Built by our ancestors to be a place of rest, the Eldridge Hotel in downtown Lawrence continues to be an elegant, cozy home away from home, holding the best of amenities, elegant rooms, paired with an exquisite in-house restaurant with notable martini nights. See for yourself, eldridgehotel.com, and make your reservation at the elegant, historic Eldridge Hotel, named the best hotel in Kansas by Travel and Leisure. Sigler Pharmacy, Lawrence's hometown pharmacy since 2005, now has a third location in Lawrence. Sigler has merged with Medical Arts Pharmacy at 346 Main. Sigler and Medical Arts founders share the same philosophy in taking unmatched care of their customers with total dedication for the Lawrence community. Transfer your prescriptions to a Sigler Pharmacy and get a free pair of medical support socks while supplies last. Check out all their services and locations at SiglerPharmacy.com.
And just like that, it all comes down to this. 4th and goal. Matt, take yourself inside the huddle. What play are you calling?
I'm saying, let's go to 23rd Street Brewery.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's the biggest play of the game.
No better time than that. There's no better spot to watch football than 23rd Street Brewery. We've got the Lions, the Firebirds, of course the Jayhawks, and all the NFL action.
Well, we better get out of here fast to catch the ending of the game. Dibs on the Haney turkey stack.
That's the 23rd Street Brewery, corner of Clinton Parkway and Castle.
Sigler Pharmacy, Lawrence's hometown pharmacy since 2005, now has a third location in Lawrence. Sigler has merged with Medical Arts Pharmacy at 346 Main. Sigler and Medical Arts founders share the same philosophy in taking unmatched care of their customers with total dedication for the Lawrence community. Transfer your prescriptions to a Sigler pharmacy and get a free pair of medical support socks while supplies last. Check out all their services and locations at SiglerPharmacy.com.
Your home for the Jayhawks, Lions, and Firebirds is FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it.
Welcome back. Second half football is nearly underway here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it. From Lawrence High School, it's Homecoming 2023. And the Chesty Lions with a commanding lead heading into the second half. Now, of course, not an unattainable lead as we had broken down in that 23rd Street Brewery halftime report. Thanks for tuning in there. But as we wrap things up, we get ready for a fresh 24 minutes here for the second half with the Chesty Lions up by 10. It is 20-10. However, they have quite a bit of momentum heading into the second half. Not only that, but of course deferring the kick in the first half, that will lead them now to receive the kick here in the second half.
Taj Edwards and Tony Jacobson deep for the Lions.
So from the 40-yard line, and again in our all-white road uniforms with the red accent, almost looks like a Louisville uniform with a white helmet. They're going to be kicking from the 40-yard line, a short kick but a high kick. They'll get it down to the 25, fielded, and he bulldozes his way past the 35 to the 40, up to the 1-yard line on the reception.
And all right, I'm going to tell you who that. Yeah, Kim Allen. I'm shocked that they have Kim Allen right there, right in front of Tony Jacobson, 10 yards in front of him to block for him. Kim Allen actually comes down with the kick this time. You never know what they were thinking, but he gained 20 yards just by being barreling through the line. Does that tell you that maybe we need to put Kim Allen in at running back or maybe at fullback in a play or two?
At least. Yeah, put him in as a blocking or running position, exactly. So they're going to put now Bowen in the backfield alone with that motion. But, however, it's a designed quarterback draw play. He's going to pick up maybe 5-6 yards there. And, again, Bowen had a lot of success with this on the ground, whether it was the option or a quarterback draw. A lot of success on the ground. Seems like that's going to be the theme for the second half.
And Banks does almost the same thing as Kim Allen did with not quite as much success. Just barrels through that line and carries him a couple yards while Kim Allen was able to carry him about 15 or 20.
Shotgun formation. He's got his man to his left. 3 wide, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Now, again, this is going to be just an option play. Bowen's got the first down picked up and more. Now down to the 40, and he's going to be wrapped up near the 35-yard line. First down picked up, chains are moving. And, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. At this point, really, with this offense, we saw this momentum kind of shifting towards the offense in the run game. And, of course, the accuracy that we saw over the air with
coming back.
Yeah, there it is. There is a piece of dirty laundry on the field right around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and that was going to be about a 20-yard pickup there for Banks. But
let's see. What is the official call? Probably a hold if I were to take a wild guess. That's exactly what it is. And just the dagger of the offense is that holding penalty, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and that one very, very costly. That was going to be a 20-yard pickup. Instead, it is a 10-yard loss.
Yeah, and it happened. Yeah, it happened 2 yards shy of that first down, so it will now be second down and 12. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So very, very costly there on that play. On the 39-yard line.
4 wide for Bowen. 4 wide, 1 to his near side, 3 to the right. And he's going to hang on to it himself, little QB option. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Bowen now trying to push himself toward that far sideline, and he is wrapped up by 3 different Bison players. And he is met over there by a team kind of expecting maybe that option play. He does get a couple of yards in succession, but still 3rd down and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, initially I thought it was about 5-yard pickup, but they're only giving credit for 3. So a 3-yard pickup there by Banks.
And he did get out of bounds.
Still needs 9.
Did get out of bounds, so that will keep things where it's at. 10:45 in this third quarter. 4 wide once again with that similar shotgun formation. He's got Edwards in the backfield with him. Edwards there to block. He wants to throw. Tries to get a little cross route.
Oh, we've got to have a flag on that. Got to have a flag.
No call.
No flag. Gabe Wingert was right there. Gabe Wingert almost had that ball. It appeared to me very obvious that got hit way before that ball reached his hands, and Gabe is not happy at all, and neither is Clint Bowen.
Yeah, it definitely was very, very close. Again, just a simple cross route here from this near side 40-yard line, made his way back into the middle of the field. It seemed like he had the play against the ball, and the defender, again, may have hit him beforehand. Seemed obvious, but didn't get the call. And with that, that will bring up 4th down and 9, and the punt unit here for LHS. This is the first time we've seen them, and a nice high arcing kick to the right side. That one looks to be just going straight out of bounds, and that's exactly where it will head, down near the 30-yard line. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to say it may be arced out of bounds. And actually, they're going to say up near the 35 to the 36 is where Shawnee Mission North will start.
And what looked like a very a great starting position and a nice, big, huge run knocked out by a penalty really cost that drive there for the Lions for a quick little 3 and out. Well, it was a long 3 and out, but that's what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. They took off a minute and a half there, 10:33 to go in the third quarter, and that will bring out the defense. The defense, of course, they gave up that 3 points just before the half. However, they've been able to kind of hold this Shawnee Mission North offense stifled on quite a few occasions. But you got to always look out for their quarterback, who just gives the ball off and actually kind of muscles his own way up the middle. That's Alex Casares. Alex Casares was pretty much the star of the entire offense. You can also give some credit to Judah Jones and the offensive line of this really Bison team. But I'll tell you what, he's been making plays, and there's a 5-yard pickup there on first down.
He does, but Connor Nowak there to really make him pay for that yardage. Connor brings him down and brings him down hard, so he's going to be sore tomorrow for sure.
Lone back, shotgun formation, and it's a design quarterback run, but he's met behind the line, and before he can get slammed, they're going to blow the whistle, and that's going to be a loss of a yard, so 3rd and 7
and they're not moving the chains at all. They say he got to the line of scrimmage. I thought Connor Nowak got back there, but I'm going to give Connor a TFL on that because I certainly think it should be.
Well, and
nice job by Connor getting through that line.
I think they blew the whistle before the potential of what Connor Nowak was going to do. The turn and slam, and to protect the quarterback, here's a 4 wide now look, and he's going to throw down the field. He's got a man open in and out of his hands. Wow, and he had the man beat downfield, and luckily for the Chesty Lions, that goes through his hands, and a 3rd down turns to 4th down. But I'll tell you what, the sophomore Alex Casares, he showed off his strength with his arm tonight, and that was another good example there.
Well, Connor Nowak and Devin Foster were in there and really pressuring him hard. I mean, they were probably about 7 or 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, running that quarterback down, and had he not released that ball, he was going to go down hard.
So Casares,
and he did, as it turned out, he did go down hard. It just was able to get the pass off.
Well, and that's the thing, too. It's just maybe 2-3 steps in front of his receiver as well. That was a fantastic throw. It just happened to be a little bit too long. And instead, Casares is actually going to come off tonight. So for the first 2 times here in this second half, in the entire ball game, we've seen the punt unit come out for either team, both LHS and now we see Shawnee Mission North with their punt unit out on the field.
2 3 and outs to start this half.
Low snap, left-footed punter, and this is the guy we saw in the pregame, and good Lord, that is at least a 70-yard punt.
I mean, that is a crazy punt for a high schooler.
Into the end zone, touchback, and I think he's down on the field right now.
I mean, he put all of his leg into that ball. Xander Thomas was deep, and all Xander could do was say, what? There goes that ball. Over my head, 20 yards.
That's Nathan Doolin, a 6'6 senior, mainly a wide receiver and defensive back, and he put the left foot into that one and booted it for 70-yard punt, and it blew over the receiver into the end zone for a touchback.
And I was going to talk about this earlier, but, man, he was just booming him 50 yards, no problem in the pregame.
That's what I didn't think we were going to see him at all tonight. And, boy, there it is, and he just blew that one through the entire special teams unit. Here is LHS on the first play. Nice pickup, 5 yards, 10 yards. Now he gets past 15 and up. Malcolm Paul on this near side with a great run, great strength. And, again, the ability to get to the edge and the sideline. But we have 1 and 2 LHS Chesty Lions down. And that is not a good sign, and I believe one of them may.
Yeah, Will Hendricks is one of them, and we do not want to lose Will Hendricks. Will Hendricks is absolutely the team leader on the field and off. Just a great, great kid, individual.
It's hot, and I think that's what Will is. I'm hoping, and then looks like a lineman down on the ground. So it looks like, again, it's hot.
Oh, my. I think it's Will Hendricks, and I had heard that it was Wyatt Hendricks. Now, Wyatt Hendricks is the other. Now, Will is getting up under his own power. Oh, boy, he is. Oh, man. And his
looks a lot worse. Wyatt Hendricks looks a little bit better. His looks more or less like a cramp. But
right.
74, that's Will. He's not able to get off on his own power at all. He is not putting any pressure on his right leg. And, in fact, his right, boy, geez, let's go ahead and just wish and hope for the best there. He looks to be in significant pain. Not only that, he looks to be completely unable to put any sort of pressure on that right leg. And he is making his way to this sideline here. Let's see if he's able to put some sort of pressure on it. A little bit at least, but we'll get you an update here coming up in just a moment. But the Hendricks brothers, again, one of them able to come off on his own power. Will needed some help, but it looks like he's able to finally start getting some weight on that right leg. And this was the thing that I mentioned in the pregame. Again, now it's hot, and we've had some kind of cooler evenings these last few weekends, but it's still fairly fresh and new into the year, and now we're still hot out there on the turf. I would imagine that Wyatt probably had a nice cramp there. That one probably didn't feel very good. And for Will, I am hoping for the best because he was in quite a bit of pain coming off the sideline. With that, 9:05 to go here in the third quarter. Bowen is going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to his man. And Edwards tripped, I think, on himself, actually.
Yeah, he did. He just tripped on his own feet and lost a yard on the play.
And that's going to bring up second down and 11. So Taj Edwards, no problem there. Certainly has happened to the best of us sometimes, but I think he was just trying to make a cut upfield. And within the process of cutting upfield, I think he tripped over his left ankle with his right foot, and he went down for a loss of yards. So 8.5 minutes here. And now we find ourselves in a little bit of a different look because you saw Coach Bowen in that first half kind of had that aggressive, offensive, look to where they have. Now we're down to nearly 5 seconds on the play clock. It looks like they're using the clock a little bit more. From the shotgun formation, Bowen awaiting the snap. He'll take it. A direct run to the left side, the near side. Bowen picks up 4, maybe 5 yards near the 50-yard line. But again, looking like they're trying to waste as much time off this clock as they can.
And I'll tell you, so Tyson Grammer is out for the year. Will Hendricks' loss would be huge, and you hope for the best for the kid. He's getting stretched out by the trainer down here in front of the booth, but Will Hendricks looks to be in a lot of pain, and my heart goes out to him. And he's. Yeah.
There's an option play to the right side, and Bowen able to get it off to Edwards. Edwards muscles his way up near the first down. I think they're going to give him the chains, and a great job there. Again, both Bowen and Casares have done this well tonight, and their ability to read the option and getting the football away right before the tackle, that was the exact case right there for Bowen. Do they give him the chains? Let's see.
Well, now it looks like it's coming back.
And it is.
Could this
be? It's going to be another penalty there against LHS, and that was prior to the snap, actually during the snap. So it was a holding penalty, I believe. And that's the second holding penalty that we've seen here tonight. So from the spot of the foul, which is right actually near the first down marker, was where the hold took place, and that will come back to 3rd and 10 now. And a bummer there because Edwards was very near that first down marker.
No, he was over it. He was past it.
So 3rd down and 10, and immediately pressured, has to get out of the pocket. Bowen finds a man over the middle, wide open at the 30-yard. Taj Edwards, 20, 15, 10, touchdown Lions.
Taj Edwards is wide open down the field at the 20-yard line, and Banks Bowen throws him another strike for a touchdown for the Chesty Lions. Taj Edwards, the junior quarterback, throwing to the sophomore running back, and the sophomores are making an impact in this game again.
Set the second 55-yard touchdown that we've had tonight through the air, and to the same target as well. I believe it was near a 55-yard touchdown from beyond the 50-yard line, once again connecting downfield. That's Banks Bowen through the air. He's doing it in two ways tonight. Here's the PAT, and he jumps inside the left field field goal post, I should say, and they make it 27-10 with 7:05 to go here in the third quarter of play. Big-time plays, big-time players.
We'll call it 55 yards. I don't know if it is, but we'll call it 55.
It was right around there. I can't remember exactly after the penalty where it came back to. I think it was more than 55 yards. But nonetheless, that's the second time that we've seen it tonight. Not only that, but the accuracy that we've seen from Bowen and the ability to get open downfield from his receivers.
You know, I before that play, I was a little bit down. Will Hendricks is he's just such a great kid and a leader and so smart. And we were talking about him before the game. I was talking with Mike Gilman, the athletic director here at Lawrence High, about what a great kid Will is. He was in the homecoming court, folks out on the field with him. His little brother plays.
You can see Wyatt down there right now.
Absolutely heartbreaking down here. You don't want to speculate, but he's definitely going to be out for the game. I mean,
he's still on the table.
Pain.
Yeah,
I don't expect him to come back this game, and we'll wait for what the early returns are. But just a huge loss for Lawrence High. But we've got Banks Bowen, we've got Taj Edwards, and that was good for a touchdown. 27-10, Lions lead it.
Yeah, a 50-plus yard touchdown through the air. And here's the kickoff, a little like chip kick again, fielded at the 25. Shawnee Mission North tried to bring it back toward the middle portion of the field, and he was wrapped up, a great open field tackle. So a nice tackle from the special teams unit there. We'll keep it down here on this end. The Bison will start at their own 25-yard line. But, yes, if we were going to give you a quick update, it does look like Will is still on the table being examined at this point. Not only that, but his brother Wyatt right next to him, kind of consoling him. Looks like they're trying to give each other a nice little pep talk. But as of this point, it does look to be Will is struggling to still put weight on his right leg and maybe a knee. I'm not exactly sure. We can't, as you had mentioned, can't really speculate too much. But we'll keep you up to date with what's going on with number 74. Now with a 17-point advantage, LHS defense will now try and defend here. Casares on a QB option, third option, gets it out to his running back, and boy, turns on the Jets, 10, 15, maybe 20 yards picked up. He got to the edge, and Matt, once that acceleration kicked in, he got past that first line of defense quickly.
Yes, he did, and that's what he can do. I mean, we've seen it already tonight. They have got some skilled players. There's no question about that. And while it's 27-10, this game's not over. I mean, of course, I have all the confidence in the world. The Lions are going to continue to extend this lead, but very disappointed in the Will Hendricks, but a huge pickup there to start the ball on the 43-yard line.
Again, shotgun formation and that triple option here for the quarterback, but the LHS defense all over it, and they are right on top of the quarterback. He was unable to even get it out to his third option, and he's taken down near the line of scrimmage, if not right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to give him 1 yard due to the forward progression, so 2nd down and 9 upcoming, but a great read there as that triple option where in that shotgun formation they've got two backs, and then, of course, a couple of options out to their wide side. Near side 2, and a wide receiver to the far as well here for Shawnee Mission North. And a play-action pass they're going to try, and a miscommunication.
Big miscommunication. Big, huge miscommunication.
Jordan White, the intended receiver, but it looked like he just wasn't aware of the assignment.
I think Jordan thought he was a downfield blocker, but he was supposed to be the intended receiver, and the receiver. It would have, had he turned around and looked for the ball, I think he would have had an opportunity to get it, even though there were Lion defenders right on him, and they would have had a shot at the ball as well, but he just was not paying attention, and that ball went incomplete. 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, that'll bring up a 3rd down and long, and they want to throw it again, and he is immediately pressured. Cassara is able to get out of the pocket and make a good throw. Nearly intercepted! It is! Tipped and intercepted past the 50-yard line, now into the Shawnee Mission North territory, and he's taken down at the 33. It was nearly intercepted by one Lion player, tipped and then taken. Chesty Lions.
Noah Richardson tipped the ball, and Noah Richardson was right there
and
to pick that ball up and go downfield and bring it all the way back into Lions territory at the 33-yard line is where they're going to start it from there. But great pickup by
have
Noah.
A flag, so they might be starting it from a different location. I would imagine it's maybe. Oh, actually, it's on Shawnee Mission North, so it may be starting in a different location or exactly what it was. The flag actually came pretty close to right after the conclusion of the play, and I think that's exactly what they're going to say. So that will actually add more yardage on. So instead of near the 30, they're going to be inside the red zone. LHS football at the 18-yard line of Shawnee Mission North. A huge play defensively, tipped in and out of the hands of one defender. LHS able to then recoil and regain possession through that interception of the tipped football. And now they've got the offense ready to go inside the Shawnee Mission North red zone with 5:55 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Big play. And again, as you had mentioned, it's not as if this game was out of touch, but boy, with a big offensive push here from LHS and take some more time off the clock, this drive could mean a lot. And here's the first play of the drive. Looks like the run up the middle didn't go anywhere.
Nope, they're going to lose a yard on that, too.
Edwards tried to get to the side, but the defense already penetrated and made the tackle for loss, 2nd and 11.
And, you know, the score at this point really is not quite indicative of what we've seen on the field, because the Bison have been able to really do some good things offensively, but just have not been able to get the ball in the end zone.
4 wide, 2 to each side here for Bone. He wants to throw it. Slot receiver wide open. Finds his man on a button hook. 5-10. Touchdown.
Mason Mosman, 19 yards for the strike again from Banks Bowen, and finds Mason Mosman open. Mason able to get in there for the TD. Lions widen this lead. Nice job pick up by Mason Mosman, and again, accurate Banks Bowen.
What a great play, and I think I mixed up the numbers. He caught it at the 10, then went to the 5 and just darted himself with his speed through the defense there, but a great, nice curl route and from the slot position. Caught it at the 10-yard line and then 10 yards after the catch. Great job, and there is your PAT to make it now 34-10, 24-point advantage. 5:16 to go here in the 3rd quarter of play, and that will bring out the LHS Chesty Lions defense, who, of course, just forced yet another turnover. They forced a couple of turnover on downs, but that one coming through the air in the interception last time, and it gave them great field position, and within a couple of plays go down and get the touchdown. So did want to remind you that tonight's game is also brought to you by Kurt Gieser, State Farm in Lawrence. Like a good neighbor, Kurt Gieser, State Farm, is there to serve all of your insurance needs. Give him and his team a call today. So here with 5:16 to go in this 3rd quarter, seemingly LHS has really turned on the Jets. The first half was a fairly quickly played first half. Lots of run plays, lots of completed passes, and this last 7 minutes of the game has obviously certainly slowed down in terms of duration, but tell you what, the overall power and momentum continues to swing with the Chesty Lions.
It does, and on the skill position players have really done it tonight, but you have to have the guys up front, and the guys up front are doing their job, doing everything they need to do. But a big hole out there now with Will Hendricks on the sidelines, and looks like he will be on the sidelines for the rest of the game. And the squib kick starting off here. Oh, wow! And a squib kick.
Did he lose?
Ball out.
And they're going to say he was down on the tackle. And again, they're going to try that little squib kick. I would almost even say a new skip kick, if you will. There is a guy down, and it does not look very pleasant either. He looks to be.
I will tell you what, the thing that I was kind of going crazy on here was the Joseph Derby run down here, sophomore, on the special teams, goes down and makes the tackle, and apparently the ball comes out as he is doing it, but does look like North.
That was a big hit.
Recovers. Huge hit there.
That's someone we've
Joseph
talked about.
Derby.
That's Nathan Doolin, the big 6'6" wide receiver that we've spoken about on a couple of occasions here tonight. And, of course, the one that can boot it pretty well and punted it nearly 70 yards. He's the one down right now, and the most concerning thing right now is normally the actions or at least the reactions of the person on the field, and somebody that is, hundreds of feet away up here in the broadcast booth. There's only so much assumption that you can make as to what's going on, but not much movement and seemingly a lot of discomfort is what's going on. So maybe a pretty serious injury, and hopefully that is not the case. But as of right now, we can only kind of look and observe. Does look like he's moving his feet now and able to maybe get up. But, boy, he was hit hard, and I don't know if he just got his bell rung pretty well, but he was laying down there on the ground, kind of indicative of a pretty serious injury. 5:11 to go here in the third quarter of play.
But that was a hit. He got absolutely rocked on that play.
I think that was the case. His bell is wrong because it doesn't seem like he's limping.
And that was Nathan Doolin. So Nathan is just a stud punter.
Yeah.
And you would hate for him. But he's walking off on his own power, looks like. So certainly not the kind of injury that we just saw happen to Will a little bit ago. But absolutely buzzed on that play. He's got his arm around the trainer walking off the field, but for the most part under his own power.
Well, and let's get you an update as well as we look over here at Hendricks, and he is still, does look like he's got his knee wrapped.
Yeah, his dad's down there with him, and he's right in front of the broadcast booth, so he's being taken care of, and his dad right there with him. Will's, at the very least, Will wants to be out there playing with his team.
I think I've seen them ask
hopefully
at least
just
to
the
go
best
out
for
there.
him to be healthy.
I think I've seen him ask a couple of times. Here's the next starting drive. First down here for Shawnee Mission North, and another QB option to the far sideline. That's, of course, going to be quarterback Casares, and Casares is met by a pretty good defensive line there. He is able to get 2 yards, but you can tell in terms, you had mentioned this a couple of times tonight, in terms of battle of the trenches, it does seem like Lawrence right now not only is getting their momentum, but also it's becoming a little bit more apparent where the fatigue is setting in, and it does look like Shawnee Mission North is starting to get run over in those trenches right now. 4 wide. Now he's going to have a man in motion. That's going to be an option play for him. Casares with a great play, but he gets smoked behind the line. However, an opening. That's his man, Jordan White. He finds the opening past the 40, inside the 20. Touchdown. As the Shawnee Mission North Bison, he had to sacrifice his body. Alex Casares gets just smoked in the pocket, but before he did, he got it away to his wide receiver on the wide receiver option. He was able to get out, and one good block and great acceleration found him a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Looney able to get that ball, and just a great pitch. They are absolutely phenomenal on execution of that option. I thought, as well as a bunch of Lions, thought that it went inside to the running back. And then I thought it was Jordan White, but then Casares has the ball, and it's very clear that he has the ball running. And then at the last second, before he gets plowed, he pitches the ball 10 yards away from him to Jeremiah Looney, who takes it all the way for a 69-yard touchdown score for the Bison. Beautifully executed play by North.
Well, and there's some whistles coming out. Now, here on the PAT, it does look like they want to go for 2. It's going to be an encroachment call on the defense, so that is yet another 5-yard penalty that we've seen against this LHS Chesty Lions defense, but that came before the snap, so that will result now in, I believe, just maybe a 6-inch differentiation into where the football is, but another try here for 2. That would make it 34-18 if they were to get it, but I like your verbiage. I'll tell you what, he got plowed in the backfield there.
Casares is going to be sore tomorrow.
Yes, indeed he is. And a man in motion, and they're going to go with that triple option again. This time they're going to hand it off to the running back, and he's going to be stopped Judah Jones behind the line, and a great stop there keeps it 34-16.
Absolutely a great stop by Mekhi Hernandez, and he had Jones had his hand in his face, almost to the point where you're going to say illegal hands to the face, but Mekhi able to hang on and pull him down before he goes into the end zone. Nice stop by Mekhi.
And that will bring out, again, the special teams unit. We've seen this on a couple of occasions, especially in that first half where we saw in that second quarter that Shawnee Mission North was able to traverse the field nearly 60 yards, get inside the red zone, and then be met with a fourth down conversion that LHS's defense kept them off the board in both fashions, whether it was field goal or whether it was in the end zone, and they got them on the turnover on downs, and that's been a big difference maker tonight. But coming away there, 34-16, and the big stop on the two-point conversion is LHS's defense, and that will result now in Shawnee Mission North kicking it off once again. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in this third quarter of play, as LHS offense will resume their potential dominant performance here tonight. We'll see. Again, there's plenty of time remaining left in this game, and we'll see, do they continue on here in the third quarter, or is it time to start really playing the clock game? I would imagine that will probably come in the last 12 minutes of this game as another little chip kick. That one's going to be down to Malcolm Paul. Again, not really the greatest of person that you could give it to. Paul stays on his feet past the 30, nearly to the 35, and they're going to put him at the 34-yard line, and a good reception there. 8 yards on the ground, but more importantly, the offense will start at the 34-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, give that ball to Paul every time, Shawnee Mission North, because what he could do a lot of damage if he cuts loose.
A big kid.
And he went 8 or 9 yards with people on his back. I mean, nice little pickup there for Paul.
6'2", 215 is a senior. Certainly he's got the beef on him. And the strength as well, as here is going to be Bowen. He's going to hang on to it himself. Little play action, however, a quarterback hold. And Bowen picks up the first down. Now he's past midfield, and Bowen just muscling his way forward near the 45-yard line. But, boy, turned on the Jets. And more importantly, a great decision there because, again, you have that option as a quarterback. Do you hand it to the tailback or do you give it to the quarterback? He made the right decision.
He absolutely did, and he gave the ball to Taj, and that was a great fake because it totally faked out the lineman for North who had come through, and he actually tackled Taj Edwards long after the ball was kept in, but a great 20-yard pickup there by Banks.
Pistol formation here for Bowen. 4 wide, 2 to each side. This time he is going to give it to Edwards, and he is swallowed up immediately. Taj right nearly at the line of scrimmage. He is met up the middle. We've seen that. We've seen only really a couple of plays have success up the middle, but now.
And, that's too bad because they gave him just 0 yards progress, but he kept on fighting and fighting and fighting. And actually, when he finally came down, he fell forward 2 yards. So he lost 2 yards because he didn't go down.
Yeah, they didn't give him a very good spot, which results in second down and 10. Similar setup, 2 to each side. Bowen wants to throw. He looks left. Now he has to escape the pocket. Gets it from one rusher. Has to throw it away. Almost gets it to his man, Taj Edwards, to this near side, but incomplete.
And wow, Todd Reesing-esque out there as he totally avoids the sack and puts his hand on the ground, gets up, and is able to get away from the defender coming through there in the backfield, and Banks able to get the throw off, but just in and out of the hands of the downfield Taj Edwards. So bringing up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's a breakdown or just purely good play calling, but on both sides, both LHS and Shawnee Mission North on a couple of occasions tonight has been able to get into that backfield very quickly. That was one occasion Bowen had 0 time, really. He was able to get away and at least get the ball out of his hands, but that brings up 3rd down and 10. Bowen with 4 wide, 2 to each side from the shotgun formation, and he thought about throwing, but he's just going to take off past the 35, slides to the 30, touchdown picked up.
And let's see where they call the spot. Okay, all right, thank you. Initially, they looked like they were going to call the spot about 6 yards deep, or from where he actually slid down. Oh, but that's coming back. Oh, my land. What was the call? I did not see the flag come out. But Bowen's picked up.
Another hold.
Well, he picked up 20 yards, not quite 20, but real close to 20 yards on the play. but a flag brings it back, and it is going to be coming back. Yeah. My land.
It came right on the line of scrimmage as well, so the hold came from basically right at the spot of the original line of scrimmage there, which now results in a 3rd down and 20.
My goodness.
So instead of a significant pickup, actually 21, because obviously they were behind the line just slightly due to the loss of pickup on Edwards' run on the previous play. But that will bring up 3rd down and long. Interesting to see what they do. Maybe a quarterback draw again, because obviously that's picked up decent yards, or do they throw it over the air? That's where they were going to want to go. Shotgun formation, has a receiver downfield, inside, and out of the hands, and a one-on-one matchup. And that's one thing that you got to love to watch in football is those one-on-one, man-to-man matchups. That time the defender had the best of it. Also, maybe a little underthrown, but
not much,
play.
man. I mean, it was Jackson Becker. He would have really, it's hard to say.
It is.
But the ball, the defender just was in the perfect position because the defender jumped up in front of Jackson Becker and able to knock it down. It was a jump ball then at that point, but 4th down is going to bring out the punting team, and here we go.
High snap. However, the punt does get away. Able to get it down there pretty well, and a nice Chesty Lion bounce. And inside the 20, he tried to receive it, and instead he gets pushed back inside the 15. So Shawnee Mission North, again, probably a wise decision to hang on to the football, but after that he got pushed back 5 yards, and they're going to start at the 15.
It was a very nice punt by Andre Lafort. And so they had Jackson Becker warming up punting today too, but it ends up being Andre out there on that one, and a nice punt by Andre.
34-16, that's where our score stays here with 2 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, as LHS defense will come back out, and a good job of shifting field position as they've shoved them back inside their own 20-yard line. They start this drive at the 16 from the far hash line as Shawnee Mission North. The Bison will come back out. They've got 3 wide, 2 in a bunch set to his left, 4 wide, 3 in a bunch set to his left, 1 to his right here to the near side. Takes the snap. Casares wants to throw, wants to get it to the near side, and that nice designed play. However, it's going to be a throw that is just over the receiver, out of bounds, and incomplete for 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
And Devin Foster absolutely made impact on that because Devin was in the backfield ready to take down Casares, but Casares able to get away just in time. But I believe Devin might have even tipped that football right as it was coming out of its hands.
And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They're going to have that strong option backfield, 2 in that shotgun formation, and that's going to be the case. Casares is going to hang on to this QB option. A little play action to his running back, but he tries to run up. Gains about 2, maybe 3 yards. I don't think they're going to give him much more than that, so a nice job there interior-wise.
And Xander Thomas coming way back from the secondary in order to make that stop. And Xander, of course, one of my favorites on this team, just comes up and makes it happen.
And I think we have another man down. This one looks again to be maybe a cramp. Hopefully that's all it is. Again, it's that time of the year, and unfortunately it's the first week of fall, but it's felt more like summer this week than it has. Yeah, it's been hotter than it is. It's been ridiculous. So
it got in the 90s today here, and we're at 81 now.
At least that's nice.
It's getting a little nicer, and there is a breeze. Earlier today it was very, very windy. And I thought that wind was going to have an impact in this game, but the wind has kind of died down to very little now at this point.
Yeah, really the only effect that wind has had, and maybe it might become an impact later in the game, is if you're having to kick from north to the south end of the football field, because obviously it's a southward going northbound wind. And with that, it has obviously led to kind of some punt and some kicking opportunities that have led to, lack of yardage. I'm trying to get his number here, but there's a Shawnee Mission North player right now that seems to be down with a lower extremity injury, probably a knee or a lower leg. Can't quite get the number on him.
We'll set it up for you here. 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go left in this 3rd quarter. Lions lead it by 18 points, 34-16. Indian Bison have the ball, 3rd down and 8. Call it a long 8. In their own deep in their own territory on their 17-yard line. So a long ways for the Bison to go, but certainly enough time in this football game to do some damage. We've seen them have the long, be very successful on long plays. We are definitely have lost a very, very key and influential player tonight, hopefully just for the game, but ultimately our hearts go out to Will Hendricks, who has who's definitely out for the game. He's taken his jersey off, just in a tank top down there on crutches, hanging out with a couple of his teammates on the field. But Will, not a happy camper, as he knows he's done for the night, and kind of puts a damper on his homecoming weekend here.
And with that, as you had mentioned, a third down coming up for Shawnee Mission North. A long one at that, 3rd down and 8. As Casares and the rest of the offense for the Bison will lead back out. 4 wide, 2 to each side. 1 slot receiver to each, both left and right. And the edge as well with a man in the backfield with him. That is Judah Jones. He wants to throw, takes the snap, and he's met in the backfield. Now he gets out of trouble, finally gets away from it, somehow has a man downfield. Is it caught? And I think, they are going to give him the catch. One heck of a play to get away from the contact and then make a throw 25 yards down the field. First down picked up at the 35.
And Jaden Harrell made an impact, but Jaden just ended up giving the quarterback a little bit more time to make that great pass, was Casares. But Jaden Harrell in the backfield and caused some problems, but Jaden's now walking off the field.
And give him some credit. I'll tell you what, Alex Casares, the sophomore quarterback for Shawnee Mission North here tonight.
And check that, Connor Nowak walking off the field and looks hurt. And Connor, that would be a huge loss for the defense if that is what's going to happen. But it looks like he's just kind of walking some things off here, figuring out what's going on. But he's now on the training table.
Yeah, little limp, and we'll keep you up to date with that. Here's another quarterback option. He's going to throw it far out to his right. That's his
flag on the play.
Jordan White, and a flag down, as you had mentioned. Only got about a yard, but we'll see where the flag actually shows, if that's going to be. I would imagine that it's most likely a holding call just due to where the location of the flag is.
Stopped by Makai Hernandez.
And we'll see exactly what the officials come to. There's quite a bit of discussion, even though there's only one flag down. So quite a bit of discussion as to exactly what the flag is. Maybe they're disputing or at least conferencing with one another. It's exactly what it is, and now we will just wait for them to do. But, again, as I'd mentioned, they really only got about a yard there on the run. So if it is a 10-yard penalty coming back to probably a 1st and 19 or just a redo of downs or 1st and 20 upcoming here. And finally, they don't finish their conversation, Matt. Seems like they're planning dinner plans.
Well, and we'll tell you about the training table here. So Connor Nowak is getting looked at by the trainers, as well as another Lion that I have not been able to make out the numbers. With the red numbers and the maroon numbers and black jersey, it can be a little challenging, especially to try to catch the number on the.
It's 70-something.
Well, we know that. That's for sure.
All right, finally we get some movement here. So it is going to be a holding penalty on the offense. So after maybe 35 total seconds of conversing, they finally come up with the idea that, yes, this was indeed a penalty. So this is going to be a 1st down and long, redo of downs. And with that, that's going to bring up now a 3-wide situation, little quarterback and a jet sweep play. The running back will come from left to right, and he makes his way to the near side sideline. That's Looney on the run. Looney picks up a good maybe 5 to 7 yards up to the 30-yard line, but still with that, they need to get to their own 46. So they have a long ways to go here on 2nd down. 56 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Currently, right now, LHS Chesty Lions here on their homecoming night with a 34-16 lead, and that brings up 2nd down and 16 after the carry.
Yeah, Elijah Gray was the other injured Lion. And Elijah, he's still hobbling with his helmet off, so he might be out now. The Lions are falling, unfortunately, this evening.
And here is yet another QB option, and this time Casares is going to hang on to it. Nice spin move, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and in fact muscles his way up past the 40 to the 41-yard line. Nice pickup there on the ground, but again, being such a distant 2nd down, still 3rd down upcoming here for Shawnee Mission North. So the Bison will be met with a 3rd down and looks to be 5. 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. They will rush up to the line, 3 wide, 1 to his far side, 2 to the near side. He wants to throw. He wants to go to that far side. First side picked up past the 50-yard line, and he takes it now inside the 30. Down is Doolin, 10-5, touchdown. And there is the big Nathan Doolin that we were worried about. We saw him in the special teams, but now through the air, touchdown, Shawnee Mission North.
Yeah, and he was just there was nothing wide open about what Doolin was able to do, but Doolin would be having the height, able to come up and grab that ball out of the air and then make the 40-yard run for the touchdown for the Bison, so shortens this Lions lead.
6'6", 190-pound senior. That is Nathan Doolin. We've mentioned him a couple of times tonight, and I would take a wild guess, and that's correct. They are going to attempt a two-point conversion here. LHS with a nice stop on their previous two-point conversion, but Casares will lead the offense back out there to try and make this a 34-24 game if they convert. They're going to have two to his right, shotgun formation, now a sweep, and maybe an option play. They're going to hand it to the running back, and again he's swallowed up behind the line, and a great defensive play. Judah Jones has nowhere to go, and that will keep it at a two-possession game.
Just absolutely pile drive by this line, and linebackers just come through there and just swallow him up, unable to convert, keeping it a 12-point game. And you wonder why that they went for that. Either one of them, they should have. If they would have gone for one on both of those touchdowns, it would be a 10-point game. As it is, they don't make either two-point conversion, and it is still a 12-point game.
Indeed it is, and that makes obviously a two-possession game is what it was going to be anyway, but two touchdown or at least two end zone trips is what the difference is going to be here. So within that, they need to go down and at least get into the end zone and stop LHS from scoring any points at all, with now just 12 minutes nearly remaining in this game. 14 seconds is all we have here in this third quarter. We'll take a quick step aside here in just a couple of moments as we are nearly done here with this quarter. Up by 12 is LHS, and about to receive the kick as it's Aiden Wiegers, the senior, to kick this one away. And again, a nice little chip kick. However, that one's in and out of the hands of Paul this time, and it's going to be fielded now by the downfieldsman. And coming up with it is Tony Jacobson. Jacobson doing a good job kind of shimmying his way through the defenders and getting up past the 30-yard line. So LHS will start 6 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And they will start, I believe, at their own 32-yard line.
And Jacobson had been in previous games this year, had been a fixture on offense and defense, but really getting limited just to the defensive and special teams play tonight.
And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Elijah Gray back there at the center position. And with that, you've got to love to see that and him back out there. They're going to hand it off to Taj Edwards here on the first play of the drive. 1, maybe 2 yards here on the drive, or on the run to the near side, outside run, as they just tried to take their...
It is, and Elijah Gray, he's appeared to be in some pain out there on the training table, but he is back out there while Connor Nowak is still on the training table.
And it looks to be, there it is, 3, 2, 1, it goes. We'll take a quick step aside and we come back. Third and now fourth quarter action here from LHS. Homecoming 34-22, LHS Chesty Lions lead back in 30 seconds.
There are a lot of Mexican restaurants that claim to be authentic or think their food tastes that way, but nothing compares to Mama's Tamale Shop. Enjoy artistically prepared tamales, empanadas, and street tacos with your choice of meats and salsas that are prepared fresh to order. Not sure what to order? Mama's will always give you a sample. Relax and enjoy great food and try one of the fresh waters or jarritos on the patio. Authentic Mexican food. Come hungry, leave satisfied. Mama's Tamale Shop, 9th in Louisiana.
Your home for the Jayhawks, Lions, and Firebirds is FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it.
And we welcome you back. It's Homecoming 2023 right here on FM 1017 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it. Thanks for tuning in, whether it's over the air, over our free app. Give it a download, by the way, at KLWN.com, which, of course, you can tune in to the video stream tonight as we are streaming right here on YouTube and through KLWN.com. So thanks for those who are tuning in through any sort of outlet that you are getting your Chesty Lions here this evening. Alongside David Ward as well as Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck. As we have 3 quarters down, 12 minutes back up on the line. Both teams have switched sides, and we are ready for fourth quarter action. After a 2-yard pickup there on first down, the LHS Chesty Lions will start this quarter, moving from left to right. At 2nd and 8, they want to throw the football. First down picked up, and a nice little throw, a dump off from the quarterback there, Banks Bowen. And the wide receiver doing all of the work.
Yeah, right. Toss it over right in the flat to Gabe Wingert, and Gabe picks up, 9 yards on that 3rd down and 8.
And with that, it'll bring up the first down just shy of their own 45-yard line from the pistol formation. He's going to hand it off now to his man Edwards. Edwards hits his own offensive lineman, and I think that kind of stifled his momentum there, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, I don't think Taj was able to get any momentum at all on that one there. And you see down back on the training table, continue the update on that, it's nice to see Will Hendricks comes over on his crutches to give Connor Nowak some words of encouragement. Both couples great seniors for Lawrence High.
I'd love to see Hendricks down there again, at least in good spirits. Certainly not
where they want to be.
Yeah, the way that he wanted his homecoming nights ago, but I'll tell you what, at least down there doing what he can as a teammate. 3 wide now for Bowen. He's got one in the backfield with him on a power offensive line setup. We'll see, do they go to the option? No, just a direct quarterback run. Bowen wants to take it, gets 5 yards. Now he dives past the 50 in a great hurdling move near the first down, and I think they'll give him 9 yards, 2nd and 1 upcoming.
Well, call it 10 because they actually had
3rd and 1, excuse me.
Had given Taj a loss of 1 on that last play.
Oh, wow, they're not going to give him a very good spot at all. So they're in.
What?
Yeah.
How is that? Oh, that's terrible.
Not a very good spot at all.
Terrible spot for Banks Bowen.
I thought it would be 3rd and 1. Instead, it is 3rd and 3.5 here from the 50-yard line. Here's Bowen, and he's going to hand it off to Edwards. Edwards is met on that far side, and really the edge and up the middle running has not been successful, and he gets taken behind the line.
Well, at least they don't kill us on that spot because they do give him forward progress to almost the line of scrimmage. But Taj just didn't have a chance. He just got absolutely buried all over the place there on the far side of the field.
Yeah, and I think they are going to give them a 1-yard tackle for loss there. And, again, I hate to say it, but a disrespectful ball location. Now, we're not down there. We're not we don't have the same views.
Oh, there's no
have.
Question. There was a terrible spot.
Boy, that was a
terrible
disrespectful
spot.
Ball location. And with that, it brings up 4th down and a nice little kick here from the special teams unit. And a good kick at that. It's going to be fielded inside the 10. Now he gets it beyond the 15 and reaching his way near the 20, but he gets taken down there. And a great open field tackle by the special teams unit here of Lawrence High. 9:25 to go in the ball game. Still with a 12-point lead, but more importantly, I will say this, Matt, we have mentioned this a couple of times. It's not like this game has been out of reach really ever, and now with another defensive stop there for North, we move ourselves into kind of LHS defense needs to at least keep them off the board here.
They've got to, but the thing about it is, Connor Nowak, which was the huge, at the point that we lost him, was going to be defensive player in the game in my head, because Connor had made impact after impact plays tonight and was really doing a great job down there. And it certainly feel like Connor's going to be out for the night, if not longer.
Well, LHS doing a good job flipping field position as inside their own 20. Here's North to reset. And a little play action pass, and he nearly kind of threw that one into a difficult area there, but it's underthrown to his intended receiver. That was Chris Moreno, his intended receiver, but Casares on the incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10.
And Tony Jacobson all over him. Uncatchable pass, but Tony was all there to do whatever he could on that wide receiver.
So Casares back out there once again, and it looks to be a 4-wide setup here. They've done this a couple of times with that spread. And one guy in the backfield looks to be Judah Jones here for Shawnee Mission North. 2 to each side, shotgun formation as Casares awaits the snap from the far hash line, and he wants to throw. Has to leave the pocket now, and he still wants to throw. Looks left, looks over the middle, almost intercepted.
Oh, wow. And what a play and knockdown by Jaden Harrell. So Jaden able to get in there and make an impact there, able to knock down that ball. But it was in and out of the hands of Jaden Harrell. Well, and maybe that's why he's a defender and not a receiver, because if he would have caught that ball, there was nobody in front of him, and he could have gone in for 6.
Absolutely. Well, and give the sophomore some credit, certainly, because, again, he gets paid to be in front of those intended receivers, and that's exactly what he did. He took a 1st down away, and that brings up 3rd down and 10 now as Shawnee Mission North, once again, 4 wide, 2 to each side. Casares wants to throw, looks right, and that one's over everybody's heading out of bounds. And a great job downfield. The secondary has proven themselves tonight. They have certainly been a menace. Casares is accurate. He's got a good arm, and he can certainly make you pay. But tonight.
And that ball was to Nathan Doolin. Had it been just a little bit more accurate, that could have been trouble for the Lions because that would have been a first down for sure.
And Doolin 6'6", he's a big target.
And he's fast. I mean,
and
Doolin is a quality football player.
And not only that, but he's about to go out there and show you a very impressive punt. So if you're watching on the stream or on YouTube, here's Doolin now to kick it away. Now he is going to kick it into the wind, so I'm interested to see how he goes against the wind right now.
But not much of a factor. This will be fun to see what this does. Ball on the 18 right now.
Great defensive stop, 3 and out, and he has to rush it, actually. Great job from the defense to get through LHS, and they are struggling to get to the football. But, again, does that mean, depending on who it hit first, they needed to be careful there. I believe they were able to recover the football, but, Matt, I'm not exactly sure what the rule would be.
Well, if we touched the ball first, which I'm sure we did, and it fell into the hands of North, then they would have had the ball and another player down on the ground for North. And but no, as it turns out, we do recover the ball, but as I absolutely jinxed him, didn't I?
You did.
I was expecting a 50-plus yard punt, and what it is a muff. So it not only muff
is not visiting 23rd Street Brewery tonight.
but then it touches some Lions, and the ball is live, of course, on a punt. So it could have gone either way, but the Lions do fall on it. They're going to have great field position here at the 30-yard of the Bison 30-yard line. So 30 yards to go to get another TD. They're currently up by 12.
This is huge, 34-22. But more importantly, again, as I just mentioned, excuse me, before we started that drive there, it was big for LHS defense to come out there and really prove themselves, and they did. They put up a 3 and out, and then more importantly, the special teams unit. I don't want to say it was a bad punt by Doolin, but he just didn't have time to actually perform or actually get it off. The defense got in there and made the difference. So now that will bring up first down from Shawnee Mission North's 30-yard line. And
that's going to go against jump offsides. That's going to go against Lawrence High. I've got to think.
Snap count was not reiterated to the far to the far receiver there. Who's that? I believe that's Wingert.
That's Wingert.
Yeah. I think he was on snap 2, and it should have been 3.
Wingert was 10 yards down the field before the referee had an opportunity to throw the flag.
So I think the snap count maybe was a little miscommunicated there.
So they've
clearly.
So they've given their, they wanted to make it a little bit more challenging, so they put the ball 5 yards behind.
Yeah,
so start the drive on the 35-yard line instead of the 30.
9 minutes to go. Far hash line and a very similar setup. They're going to go in that offset pistol formation, or actually just straight to the shotgun. 1 to the far side, that's Wingert, and then 2 to this near side, and they are going to actually keep it. Quarterback option. Bowen with it, past the 30, now to the 25. Nice little stiff arm, and he makes his way near the 20, but he's about 3 yards shy of the first down. Great pickup there on first and long.
Yeah, pick up. Call it. Let's see here. Call it 11 on that pickup there.
Yeah, it looks about 2nd and 4.
See where they spot this ball? Yep, 11-yard gain there for Banks Bowen.
And Bowen's now going to be alone in the backfield. He'll have 5 receivers, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Did they bring anybody across? And now they're going to head over to Coach Bowen here on this near side to maybe get a couple of more calls from either him or his offensive coordinator. But again, 5 wide. Let's see, do they bring a receiver in motion? No, they're going to throw it directly right to the slot. In and out of his hand.
Jackson Becker wants that back so bad. In and out of his hands is correct, and into the hands of the Bison, who pick up the ball on the 13-yard line. First down, Shawnee Mission North.
Yeah, and again, there's so many plays throughout a game that you can look back upon, whether it's momentum or whether it's the actual score. But again, LHS defense been doing a good job stifling this offense so far. They seem a little bit more with energy, but yes, indeed, as you had mentioned, Becker really wanting that football back at this point. In and out of his hands just seemed to be, I'm not exactly sure where the mistake was other than just not being able to grip onto the football. And unfortunately, the tip drill, when you tip the ball around, you allow yourself to give it the potential of being into the wrong hands. And I'll tell you what, the Shawnee Mission North player happened to be at the right place at the right time. he could have been laying on the ground and that football would have came to him. So here's Casares. He wants to throw on first down. He wants to throw deep, and he underthrows his man. And after underthrowing him, he actually almost still made the catch.
Big time in the air throw. I mean, that ball was it was a lob in to Jordan White. And White White really should have had that ball because it really went to him. It was probably not the kind of pass that Jordan had expected.
And it looks like we have an LHS Chesty Lion currently down on the field. This has been a constant theme here this evening, Matt. Now, you've covered, you and I have had a couple of games earlier on in the season as well, but really has this consistency been... Is this something new, or is this?
The injuries have not been like this. The only injury we've really had this whole year has been to Tyson Grammer, and now here tonight it has been like a plethora of injuries, and now Connor Nowak has ice on his knee, and you hate to see that. So Connor Nowak and Will Hendricks potentially out, and we still have a Lion on the ground, and he is laying down, and his leg is in the air, so you hope that might be a cramp.
I'm hoping so.
But, goodness.
Because I'll tell you what, this hamstring and quad,
we know that we assume that Wyatt was a cramp, but here.
All right, I think that's a cramp. Come on.
Oh, and this is Kem Allen. Kem Allen is down. Okay, that's got to be a cramp. So.
There you go.
Oh,
big man, 6'2", senior Kem Allen. He gets off, and that is probably what it seems to be.
That's two captains. Two captains on this team. Oh, no. Check that out. That's all three of our Kem Allen, Will Hendricks, and Connor Nowak. Now, Kem does not look to be. He's coming off under his own power. He's drinking his water.
Like I said, those hamstring cramps are nothing to mess with.
Well, they hurt. They're intense for a little bit. But then if you can kind of get them stretched out, get everything going, everything should be okay. Yep. Second down 10, North ball on their own
13-yard line.
13-yard line.
8:41 to go. Again, alongside Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck. Thanks for joining us here for LHS Chesty Lion football on KLWN. And he wants to bomb it. Casares has a man, but he's guarded, and boy, that's going to be trouble.
There comes the flag, and that was pretty clear.
Xander Thomas, that was, first of all, he didn't make any motion to look back towards the quarterback, and then obviously the contact made. That's going to be a big penalty against LHS.
Well, you got to give Xander a little credit because, and I just love Xander because he's a gritty, he's one of the little guys, and he just has grit, just a lot of grit, and that's what I would say about Xander, and he knew he was going to lose that race, and so he just grabbed onto the jersey and tried to pull him back. And I'm sorry, that's a flag, and you got to call that.
Can't really get away with
99
that one.
times out of 100, unless the referee just absolutely is not paying attention.
So, and brings up first down, and it will move north up to their own 28 now. Here's Casares. He'll take the snap, wants to throw, and he's in trouble.
Wow!
Tripped off the field.
Oh, he's able to get it back, but ball was out for a second and able to pick it back up. And Noah Richardson comes up with the big tackle for loss.
Not only that, but the tackle in the open field tripped up his legs. Those are difficult open field tackles, and he did it well.
The Casares is a really, really good player. I don't know how much he has been beat up this year yet. But, boy, I tell you, he's absolutely going to feel this ball game tonight.
Yes, he is. 4 wide. Casares, little play-action pass. Now he's going to leave the pocket. He wants to do it himself. Gets up past the original line of scrimmage and near and past the 30-yard line. So that will bring it up to now third down and a little bit more manageable. But still 3rd and 9, I believe, is what the estimated mark will be. But Casares, again, is... As you had mentioned, I'm sure getting a little bit tired. I'm sure will be bruised tomorrow, definitely at that. But at this point, with 7:30 to go, he's doing a little bit too much.
He's absolutely trying to do it all, but he's trying to do whatever he can to win this ball game.
And a man in motion. They're going to hand it off to their wide receiver. That's Jordan White. Jordan White gets met nearly at the point of attack.
Tony Jacobson comes up and makes a huge hit. Almost a Mondi. I'm not going to quite call it a Mondi, but a huge stop, and primarily because he didn't quite know where he was going. The receiver had kind of faked him a little bit, but man, Tony held his ground and able to make the stop with very, very little to gain on that play.
Jordan White, the receiver there, was a little bit shaken up on the play.
But 4th down and 6.
And he still is out there.
They're going for it. 6:39 to go in this game.
And
a timeout is called.
Shawnee Mission North will take up that's their first here of this second half. So Shawnee Mission North will take their first timeout here. 34-22 is our score. We'll go ahead and join them. Quick 30-second step aside. When we come back, we'll continue on. LHS well on their way to maybe a 2023 homecoming victory. Currently up 34-22, but back in 30 seconds with fourth quarter action here on KLWN.
Parents, are you ready to take on the changing seasons with confidence? Look no further than Panda Pediatrics. As temperatures fall, kids spend more time indoors with friends, and right now it's essential to protect your little ones from the flu and COVID-19. At Panda Pediatrics, our Best of Lawrence pediatricians have you covered with drive-through and in-office vaccine clinics all season long. When sickness does hit your household, Panda Peds is here for you with same-day sick care. Don't wait. Keep your kids feeling their best. Visit online at pandapeds.com. That's PANDAPEDS.com.
1320 KLWN Lawrence and FM 1017 K269 GP Lawrence. Depend on it.
And we welcome you back here to the final 6 minutes, 37 seconds of Homecoming 2023 from Lawrence High School. Alongside Matt Llewellyn, I'm Sam Speck. Thank you for joining us here from the Hank booth. And I feel honored to be in his chair here this evening. And boy, I think I have the nicest chair in the booth.
You absolutely 100% do. Nice leather with arms. Yeah.
Look at this. It even has that new chair smell to it even still. So 4 wide here for Shawnee Mission North from the shotgun. And Casares on 4th down. He's going to be able to get out of the pocket. He's in trouble. He's next to the first down. Wow. Give it to him. But he got smoked.
They are going to give him that first down. But Xander Thomas comes up and lays on a hit that Casares is absolutely going to feel tomorrow. Xander and every fan in the stadium, that we're going to call that one a Mondi because that was absolutely pounded. Made Casares pay for that first down.
And Casares has paid for a lot of the yards that he has been able to attain tonight. But with that, he does get the first down on that 3rd down play. 6:27 remaining here in the ballgame. They're down by 12 and still pushing up on offense. He's going to hand it off to his back, Jones. Jones gets 3 yards there up the middle, and he gets taken down. And you can tell it looks like Casares, give him credit, but certainly I would imagine getting a little tired. But actually, they only give him 2 yards there, so 2nd and 8 upcoming.
And there's just no question you can tell that Connor Nowak is not in there because they would not have gotten that many yards if Connor Nowak was in that play.
4 wide, and boy, that was about as false start as I've ever seen. So that will be quite a bit of movement from the offensive line. And 5 yards coming back. So 2nd down and 8 turns to 2nd and 13 with 5:58 to go here in the ballgame. Again, it's not as if they're out of striking distance or really out of this game, but certainly both teams seeming a little bit gassed as of this point. Lots of yardage, lots of success through the air and on the ground here tonight. But I think more importantly is both of these teams really kind of taking it to each other, beating each other up. We've seen LHS now with a number of players that have had to be escorted off the field due to injury, and Casares now, he's pressured there on 2nd down and long.
Wow, that is a Mondi. That is a Mondi right there.
I don't even think he saw him coming at Josh Galbraith. A monster hit from the side. And again, Casares did everything he could just to get out of the pocket and away and up near the original line of scrimmage, but he wasn't looking to his far side, and that's where Galbraith met him with force.
Just every person in this stadium with a gasp. What a massive hit by Galbraith. Just a sophomore. How many times are we going to see that in the next 3 years?
All right, another timeout taken there from Shawnee Mission North. Huge defensive statement. We'll join them just a quick 30-second step aside when we come back. More fourth quarter action here from Lawrence High School. LHS Chesty Lions 34, Shawnee Mission North 22. And actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and stake right here just because it looks like they're going to kind of speed through their timeout. But alongside Matt Llewellyn and David Ward on the switches as well, I'm Sam Speck. Very glad to have you guys here with us. We've also got Newman back in the studios, making sure that at least we get on and off things here for tonight. But we've got a great weekend of sports. Of course, high school homecoming weekend here for LHS. And then we've got KU football on the road tomorrow as they make their way down to Austin, Texas for game number 2 of Big 12 play here of the 2023-24 season. Not only that, but they go up against a top 5 matchup in UT, Texas. That's going to be a fun game. They've had some success down there in that big old stadium. So we'll see. We'll see if JD and the rest of the team can pull it together for tomorrow or at least make it competitive. I guarantee you they'll make it competitive. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
It is going to be a great game. I am absolutely setting my clock to the start of that game.
And, of course, you can hear it here on KLWN. And thank you for tuning in to Lawrence High Chesty Lions football, whether it's over our website on the stream or over the air or over our free app. Here's the final 5 minutes, 12 seconds of this ball game. Homecoming, and it looks to be maybe a little trick play. They're going to hand it off, kind of a little flea flicker, but in and out of his hands as they try to get it to the intended receiver, Nathan Doolin. So a handoff to the running back. The running back then, that was Jeremiah Looney, took it, rolled out of the pocket, and tried to throw it down to his intended receiver, Doolin, incomplete. And I don't know if you would officially call that a flea flicker, but because I believe the running back would have to give it back to the quarterback to kind of give it that full effect.
Yeah, and either way, 4th down and 12. By the way, he was being pursued there heavily by Devin Foster and Josh Galbraith on that play. So those two sophomores putting a lot of pressure on.
And certainly needing to go for it, 4-down territory with only 5:05 to go in the game and still it being manageable at this point. They're going to go for it. So they're going to have Casares with a shotgun formation. That's Jones in the backfield with him. 4 wide through to his right. Casares is going to have a lot of space to his right up to the original line of scrimmage, and he underthrows his man, and a great job defensively downfield. The secondary has been on top of their game all game long, and we see another edition of that right there, and a turnover on downs gives it right back to the Chesty Lions with less than 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, and the coach is coming out in the field and really congratulating the defense on a really, really great stand there. And you'd almost think that this game should be out of reach now if the clock management by Lawrence High is what it needs to be. And they need this, they need to get a couple first downs, but if they can run the ball and run this clock and be effective, then the Lions are going to come out with a victory here.
They're going to put 6 on the line, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. And from the offset pistol formation, another flag actually comes out from the far side, and I think a lot of movement took place. So with that movement, I believe we're going to be coming back 5 yards. Or it might be, no, encroachment, so on the other side. So movement for Shawnee Mission North and an encroachment charge will be 5 yards against the Bison and make it now 1st down and 5. 4:57 to go in the ball game from the near hash line here. LHS again in their black home uniforms. And the offset pistol formation. And 3 wide, here's Bowen to take the snap. And he'll hand it off to his back and to the near side now. And he's met pretty much right at the line of scrimmage. They might give him a yard or two up near the 30 to the 31.
And Tony Jacobson is in there for the first time tonight at running back. And Tony gets that 2-yard pickup. Well, I'll call it 1-yard pickup.
And Jacobson bringing a nice burst of energy there. The first time we have seen number 20, the 5'10 senior out there at tailback. And he'll be back there with Bowen once again. 3 wide, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. And again, they're stacking the line with 6 up front. Bowen awaiting the snap of the shotgun. He wants to look right. He does. Goes right and in and out of the hands of Jackson Becker. And that, again, is intended receiver on this near side. Just a little bit too quick of a throw and a really right idea, but just didn't execute it.
And that's probably the second ball that Jackson has had tonight that he wishes he could have back.
I would guess so. Maybe not the first that he wished he had back, but certainly one of them. But here's 4 wide once again. Actually 5 wide, and alone in the backfield is Banks Bowen. Waits on the snap, a little bit of a high snap, but he's able to get off the throw to his slot receiver. First down picked up, and a great job. A little curl route right at the first down marker, and he's able to dive his way for 5 additional yards. That's Malcolm Paul coming away with the first down, and again, 5 yards after the catch.
And I like the call. You go to the sure hands of Malcolm Paul, able to pick up 9 yards on that for the first down, and the clock is running with 4 minutes and rolling.
And only one timeout is all that Shawnee Mission North has to really even manipulate the clock at this point. And I'm sure they are wanting to hang on to that if they potentially have another offensive drive and keep LHS out of the end zone, more importantly. 3 wide here for Bowen, again stacking the line, and there's another encroachment. That's going to be against Shawnee Mission North. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. And obviously we get to the point of the game where these mistakes certainly become a little bit more apparent with the fatigue.
Yep, 3:45 to go. And if Banks is smart here, when they start that clock there, they'll want to although actually I guess they won't. Yeah, they start the clock now. And so play clock at 25, and if hopefully Banks will just run that clock down all the way. But he doesn't. He gives the ball off.
And he's sweeping.
Wow.
A wide receiver sweeping across, and he is met immediately. And it just seemed to be, again, not a play that was planned for on the defensive side. Good play calling by the defensive coordinator. Snubbed that one out, and that one's going to be actually not a loss, but a run for no gain.
Yep, Taj not able to do anything. So Taj lined up as a wide receiver that time, but came in motion then and swept around and not able to pick up anything at all.
And they're going to keep Edwards in the backfield in this pistol formation. 2 to Bowen's right, 1 to his left. And we'll see if they use motion again, but awaiting a play call from the sideline. And from the 16-yard line here of Shawnee Mission North, they are going to continue going, and a timeout taken, I believe. So that one is going to be the second timeout charged.
Yeah, and they let the play clock
first.
They let the play clock go down all the way to burn as much clock as they possibly could. Clock now standing at 2:50 yet to go in this game. And Lions call a timeout, leading by 12 points, 34-22. And like you said, this game has never been out of reach by the Lions. Only a 14-point lead at one point in time. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, 24-point lead at 34-10. And we are at 34-22 right
Certainly.
now.
Yeah, well, and you know what? Give credit where credit is due. Shawnee Mission North, where at times they have seemed gassed, or at least the momentum has been completely out of their side of the football field, they have stayed relevant in this game. And right now, if they could come up with a takeaway, we might be talking completely differently here in just a moment. But 2nd down and 5 is where we are at after the timeout. That's the first timeout charged here for the Chesty Lions in the second half. But as you had mentioned, Matt, 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And they're going to bring out a very spread offense. 5 on the line, 5 wide. And then they've got Banks Bowen alone in the backfield in that shotgun formation. 2 to his right, 3 to his left. Man in motion. That's again going to be Edwards. And they're going to hand it. Actually, no, that's going to be Bowen hanging on to it for that little quarterback option. And a great 6-yard pickup. Brings the chains forward and inside the 10-yard line. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They have been able to pick up consistently 5 to 6 yards whenever Bowen hangs on to
well,
the
I kind of saw that one the whole way. I mean, when it was very clearly not going to hand it off to Taj, but man, it was a good fake and totally sold the defense, which made a huge open gap up the middle for Banks to be able to pick up that yardage. So nice thought process on that one.
An important note, it keeps the clock running as well with that first down. Now near 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go. They're going to hand it back to Edwards, and boy, he's just swallowed up immediately behind the line. Taj, I believe, loses a yard.
Yeah, and Taj has just, it's just not been able to get anything going here in the second half at all.
Especially up the middle. Both have kind of struggled with that up the middle. Banks has had a little bit of success, but more or less that's him finding and misdirecting the defense and been able to get past that first line of defense. But really, both teams struggling to run straight up the gut. That will bring us now to 1:40 to go, 19 to go on the play clock, and now you can see the snail's pace that the offense will run here. Rightfully so, to try and just burn out this clock. 3 wide, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Now he's going to put Edwards in that slot formation and a direct Cuban sneak. Bowen making his way towards the 1-yard line, but he's going to be shy of the end zone.
But great call, great fake to Taj, and it was exactly just the opposite way of the other play that was the same kind of gain. The pulled the defense open enough up the middle for Banks to be able to move up the middle and gain, 6 yards on that play.
Absolutely, and that puts them now inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line, I believe. Or let's see, where'd they put it? Yeah, they did put it on the 4-yard line.
So most important thing here is running the clock. The TD is the secondary thing.
They're going to stack the line. They're just going to hand it to Bowen, and Bowen gets smacked behind the line, and a great open field tackle right there, and a great show of sportsmanship as well, by the way. But that third down play will now bring up 4th down, and really at that, this is going to be the last play of the game. The differential between the game clock and the snap clock is merely a second and a half. And with that, LHS is going to be able to hang on to this pretty much until the last snap and kill off that second and a half difference that they have. So with that, how about that 2023 homecoming game victory here tonight, 34-22. I'm not sure exactly what their game plan is. Are they going to just get the penalty and then snap the last one? Or
and you would think then at that point they're going to what
just
they'll
call
do
the game,
because it'll be 1 second literally, because that's all the difference there is.
And they're going to call timeout, actually, is what they are going to do. So instead, it looks like Coach Bowen's going to call a timeout. That will be their second charged one. And with that, they'll probably just bring out either I would doubt they bring out anybody to bring more points on. That would just kind of be salt in the wound. I would doubt that. But
they could go for the field goal, but there's no point. And I've got to think that what they do is they just – all they really have to do is take 2 seconds off the clock, and I don't know why they even stopped it at 2 seconds. They should have stopped it at 1.
Yeah. Really, what you need to do is do like a large pitch play or something that gets it to the edge.
No. Quarterback keeper, in all honesty, if the smart move to do would be for Banks to get the ball
and run to the edge.
Run. Oh, they're going to go for the field goal.
Oh, they are. So this is odd. But what I meant is just for Banks to pull off the 2 seconds, run to the edge, and go down.
Yes, absolutely. And he could do that quickly. So here what happened. Ball is on the 11-yard line. Banks is the holder. Ball is up, and they do kick it through the end zone. And that is a field goal for Lawrence High as time runs out. So interesting call, but that was really just in the effort to run the clock out without anybody getting hurt. And why Clint doesn't just fall on it, I'm not quite sure, but that is what it is. And
we don't question greatness sometimes, especially when they come away with a nice weak victory again here tonight. So before you go down there, because I know you really want to talk with some of the injured players, what are your final notes for tonight's game?
Well, player of the game is Banks Bowen. No question in my mind at all. Just an absolutely solid performance by him. That makes the second time of the year. The first time, I believe I was with you when he ran lights out for 200 yards but couldn't throw.
Yep.
Tonight, it's complete. It's not opposite, but man, he was accurate. So accurate, and Banks Bowen now has come alive. And if this is the Banks Bowen we're going to get the rest of the season, the Lions are going to be very, very successful because Banks Bowen did everything tonight. He ran the ball. He commanded the game. Offensively, he was the man out there. Everything was going through him. It all worked through him, and he made this offense click. And just a great, great job by Banks.
All right, well, that's Matt Llewellyn. Matt, thanks so much. Again, as always, our coverage of LHS Chesty Lions football here on KLWN or our other sister stations or over KLWN.com online as well. Thanks for tuning in. And, Matt, please give us a nice synopsis next week as to what's going on injury-wise, and hopefully it's not anything too seriously because we definitely need some of those chaps to be playing in playoff football a little bit later this year and do it at a high competitive level. This is a good-looking team. Chesty Lions get the win tonight, 37-22 in halftime. Matt, thanks so much for your help, and I'll just go ahead and wrap things up here from Lawrence High School. As once again, thank you for joining us here throughout this evening. It was a warm day. We were kind of worried about maybe the amount of cramps and maybe the amount of injuries potential, and that was kind of a constant theme, especially for LHS. They had quite a few players go down today, which is one thing that Matt is going to go down and report on here for us today, as of course Hendricks was out, Kem Allen went down. There was a couple of other folks as well that we were concerned about that we will get you updated with what they are looking like for next week, and more importantly, the remainder of the season. So kind of some concerns there, but really looking at this game, just a quick overview. Shawnee Mission North certainly came out in that first quarter. They put up some points in their first drive of the game, and they were competitive all throughout. They were really never out of reach in this game. 37-22 is not very indicative of how powerful this offense is. A great and talented quarterback for the Shawnee Mission North Bison team. Definitely needs to be noted. He is not one to be reckoned with. That is Alex Casares, certainly one of my players of the game, not the one that takes it for me. Today was a game of quarterbacks, and that's exactly what we saw. Casares showing his accuracy and his length down the field, and of course his ability on the ground. And then, of course, as Matt had mentioned, Banks Bowen doing it in both ways as well, on the ground and then over the air. I got to see a different side of Bowen tonight. Banks really impressed me throwing the ball down the field. He had a couple of touchdown passes that were over 50 yards, and a great job from his wide receiving core to be there for him as well. So great job, great win overall, great play calling from the coaches. 37-22, that's where they come away with a victory. Still one loss on the season, but a great homecoming victory here to end out the month of September. Did want to remind you that our post-game report has been brought to you by Mama's Tamale Shop. They're authentically made empanadas, street tacos, and of course the delicious tamales and much more. Try the fresh waters and the house-made salsas with Mama's Tamale Shop right there on 9th Street. Also up here from our broadcast booth, brought to you by Trudy Credit Union. You can get your Chesty Lions Spirit debit card today. Each purchase you make with the card raises money for our schools. You swipe, they give. Visit their branch or at trudycu.org/Spirit Card to learn more. All right, well, that's just about going to wrap things up here from LHS. Again, I feel honored to be here tonight in the Hank booth. Thank you to Matt Nguyen as well as David Ward on the switches here tonight, and to all of our great sponsors, including 23rd Street Brewery, Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry, Mama's Tamales, Kurt Gieser, and Trudy Credit Union. Thanks to everyone making this a possibility. Great win as well. Coach Bowen, great play call, offense, defense, really lots of things to look forward to and grow on, and a powerful win here for the Chesty Lions tonight, 37-22. So that's going to do it for us. We're going to send it back to our regularly scheduled programming here on FM 101.7 and 1320 KLWN. Depend on it. We'll have more Chesty Lions football as the weeks progress as well. Hopefully these games will be up on and able to watch back on our websites as well, as we're very happy to bring you these through our streaming services on KLWN and through YouTube as well. So once again, thanks to everybody making these broadcasts a possibility. For one last time, I say so long, and signing off here on FM 101.7, 1320 KLWN. You can depend on it.
And just like that, it all comes down to this. 4th and goal. Matt, take yourself inside the huddle. What play are you calling?
I'm saying, let's go to 23rd Street Brewery.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's the biggest play of the game.
No better time than that. There's no better spot to watch football than 23rd Street Brewery. We've got the Lions, the Firebirds, of course the Jayhawks, and all the NFL action.
Well, we better get out of here fast to catch the ending of the game. Dibs on the Haney turkey stack.
That's the 23rd Street Brewery, corner of Clinton Parkway and Castle.
It's nerve-wracking when your child starts driving. After all, you always hear about those high accident numbers for teens. You want to put your focus into making sure your child is safe and okay. And the last thing you want to deal with is a pesky insurance claim. The law office of Sally Kelsey in Lawrence will put you at ease. Sally Kelsey offers free consultations and has helped people with accidents for over 30 years. Let her help you navigate your claim and seek a fair settlement. That's Sally Kelsey, Kelsey.
The Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry in Lawrence welcomes Dr. Ehsan Iqbal.
Hi, I'm Ehsan Iqbal. I'm a general dentist, and I joined a few months back. And I'm very excited to see new people and meet new people in Lawrence, Kansas. My favorite thing to do in dentistry is root canals and crowns. That's what I love to do all day, every day. Second best is extract bad teeth and replace them with implants.
The Kansas Center for Sedation Dentistry. Kind, caring, and understanding when you need it most. Online at kansascenterforsedationdentistry.com.
Truity Credit Union is a proud supporter of the Lawrence High Lions and all Lawrence public schools. We've donated over $61,000 to support our schools and teachers. Get your Chesty Lions Spirit debit card today. Each purchase you make with the card raises money for our schools. You swipe, we give. Visit a branch today or online at truitycu.org/spirit card to learn more. Stand up and cheer for your Lawrence Lions with Truity. Truity Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.